we fishing right now? We live?
We are live.
We are live. What's up to the people out there? I see everybody out in the chat already. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys know it's the Sunday show, baby. You guys know the deal, man. Let's roll.
Good morning. We have a
nobody else heard that. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Yeah, there's Spam throwing everything off as usual.
This is
Hey Jim.
Nobody else heard that kidnapping take place.
What?
Nobody else heard that kidnapping, all that commotion in the background like 30 seconds ago. Someone's door getting kicked in, something. Okay, just making sure.
I was yelling over that.
Okay.
Yo, shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. Shout out to Top Dog. Shout out to Renee, who's always there. West Side. Shout out to Larry. Shout out to everybody that came through already early. Madman, CJ, Whisper, Steven, Aaron G, Coco Hope. Shout out to all you guys. Armand Smith, Ryan 88, Callie Young.
Yo, shout out to Top Dogs. Shout out to Peter, Aaron, Lightbringer, Aaron G. What's going on? Happy Sunday.
Jesus.
John. Yo, Mondo Ruiz, what up? John Pettit, what's going on? Jesus Herrera, let's roll. They know the deal. Everybody needs to wake up. Y'all need to wake up, man. All right? Let's get it together. It's a Sunday show.
Yeah.
Let's get it going now. All right? Shout out to everybody in the chat.
And Christ Almighty, shout out to TG. It's Speed Engine, not Sperm Engine. This is not 2006 Xbox. That is Speed, SPEAM, not SPERM. There is a difference. But thank you for the support otherwise.
Are you telling us that your name on Xbox used to be Sperm Engine?
No, what I'm telling you is that it was Speed Engine, but when you're in that age demographic, people tend to pull you down by calling you stuff like that.
Shout out to me because I'm rich and I got a lot of money, says viewer. Hey, so the rule today, everyone, we got to try and be like the face of the league. I want every sentence to start with a prolonged and fit in a compliment for yourselves for no reason. Here, I'll leave it in example. And now I'm going to describe the last 3 plays of the game, even though you didn't ask me anything about it. And then you can go do a report about my photographic memory. Guys, is recalling the last 3 plays of the game difficult? Is that how dumb human beings are now that we call that photographic memory?
Well,
strive for greatness.
And towards
strive for
this
greatness.
person said, because I live check to check. I ain't rich.
Spam, you missed your Come on, get on it.
No, I said strive for greatness. Everybody has to wake up to the same problems tomorrow that they have today. I'm rich today. I'll be rich tomorrow. Oh, hold on. You asked me about my sneakers, so I will tell you. Hold on.
Oh, Christ.
In the interest of stopping oppression, we have the Adidas Crazy One Black History Month. Shout out to Kobe.
Why, man? Why?
And then we have the right. Strive for greatness. And then we have my partner at Nike, Kevin Durant. His shoes don't sell as much as mine, but this is his 8th shoe, also Black History Month. With Black History Month on the horizon in about a year, I think we should start thinking about that now. Next, go ahead.
What the hell?
I need I'm going to take the soundbite from White Men Can't Jump, where he asks how much that change set his family back every time you hang up your sneakers.
That's fine. Listen, you think people call you racist now? Go ahead and do that. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was asking everyone if they identify as Black this morning. Jim, I didn't get around to asking you that, but
no, I identify as white.
You can't hear Jimmy.
You know how
Caucasian.
You know how people think that I was trying to look black with this, which is not what I was going for. I can tell you for a fact that I don't, because I drive around like this and don't get pulled over.
We are in the weeds right now. We are in the weeds. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, Hey,
we're talking basketball, right? Let's talk basketball. Shout out to LeBron. Let's talk basketball.
With the latest news, NBA.com runs a headline that headband LeBron leads the Lakers past the Grizzlies. And I looked at the box
connection seems.
Is anyone else having a problem, or is it just Jim?
Nope.
All right.
Good.
Headband James leads the Lakers past the Grizzlies. And I looked at the box score. LeBron James did not lead in anything. He tied for first in turnovers. He did not lead in anything. In fact, he came in third in scoring again. While, finish the sentence for me, Robin. What do you think the last part of that is?
He took the most shots.
He took the most shots, but not lead the team in 10 points.
Thank you, Zay. So then I went and I checked all the players from the night. He didn't lead in a fucking single category. And yet he led the Lakers past the Grizzlies. This is the type of bullshit glazing that we are sick of. And that's what I'm kicking off with. Anybody got anything to say about last night's game before we talk about Pat McAfee ad nauseum, et cetera, et cetera?
But you just came out and you just, came out with the shots fired, what you're talking about. And these are the things that we're alluding to. You're talking about these narratives and how they write these things up. I also saw something earlier from ESPN, how Austin Reeves and LeBron James combined for such and such amount of points and such amount of assists. They had to put LeBron James with Austin Reeves and what Austin Reeves was doing and latch LeBron James onto him as if he was the second guy. Where's Luka Doncic in any of this equation? All of a sudden, we just skip Luka Doncic and we put Austin Reeves and LeBron James combined for X amount of points and assists. These are the kinds of things that we're talking about. That's what we were laughing when LeBron James called someone like Brian Windhorst a weirdo. When Brian Windhorst is the guy who's writing these kinds of articles. Brian Windhorst was the guy that was writing the articles talking about, LeBron James once again continues his double-digit streak, the NBA record of all of these games. He's the one promoting these narratives for you, LeBron James.
Hey, the lowly one says, and let's roll with a super chat. That must be for you, Robin.
They know the deal. Shout out to the lowly one, for real. Hey. True supporter of my channel.
Mr. Fanboy. Octung from Germany. Welcome, Germany.
Hey, shout out to Germany.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Go.
Fanboys, looks like the sun came out today for you. You finally got a win against a team that fired his head coach just a few days before this game. Another easy win. Go ahead, dog. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but is it true that the coach has the same record as JJ Redick and got fired while JJ Redick is getting Coach of the Year talk?
But does he have a podcast? Is the question.
Right.
How much money does he
answer that?
How much money does he have? Just the messenger says, good for you. Everybody today. Dumb yourselves down to LeBron's level. Check my stats. I always make the right play. Yeah, you proved that against the Bulls yet again, didn't you?
Fool.
Also, shout out to Hoop Oracle, who said LeBron is the fluoride in our toothpaste.
Goodness gracious.
I think that's fantastic.
King Speech wrote, how long till Luka gets sick of LeGlaze headlines? Man, we ask that with every player that ever goes there and has to go through this shit. Luka, welcome to LeBron's world. Getting shit on already. Taking the blame. Man, I'm going to do a video on ESPN while anyone who is actually watching the game sees how bad LeBron's been playing. I listened to ESPN segment. They were putting everything on Luka after that Bulls game. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was sad to watch. I was like, oh, Luka, you see what you...
Do you guys remember when LeBron had that putback? When he had that putback, they said the headline was LeBron has putback off Luka miss. I don't know if you remember that.
It's sad, Luka. You have no idea. This man has turned your life upside down, and now he's cost you $115 million, and now you're about to be the new scapegoat. How does it feel?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, if you think about like how much attention, the mediocre teams that the Lakers have been over the last several seasons, they've been mediocre, man. They've been fighting for a playing spot over the last several seasons, and yet they get more attention than all the teams that are actually winning games. They're talking about them more than the Oklahoma City Thunder, who, if they win the rest of their games, the Oklahoma City Thunder could win 70 games this season. Now, we all know that it's not necessarily about what you do in the regular season. It's about getting it done in the postseason. And a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, someone like SGA, there's no excuse for them. But they never get no shine or talk from a lot of these programs because they're busy talking about these mediocre basketball teams that LeBron James has been on and the Lakers have been over the last several years, man. So once again, that's another way that you're taking away from the NBA. How are you supposed to promote the league and get people to come and watch your game when you're not talking about teams like the Houston Rockets or talking about teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder and some of the other teams like the Cleveland Cavaliers and some of these other up-and-coming teams that have been there, even like a team like the Detroit Pistons? They're not talking about these teams at all.
Hey, Jim, Jim, you want to chime in here? What do you got to take away after last night's game?
Well, I'll just say, piggybacking on what Rob said about not promoting any other players in the NBA and all. I know you guys got to get all kinds of trolls come through your channel. They're more concerned about our channels, yet these major networks, all they do is pump up LeBron 24/7, 24/7. That's all they do all the time. And they have no issue with that. But our channels talk about something other than LeBron, and they always got an issue with it and all that. It's just ridiculous. I mean, LeBron James is 40 years old. Come on, like let's give somebody else a chance. No matter what he does, if he does something bad, they cover it up. If he does something good, it's the headlines. And if it's a teammate on his, it'll be the secondary thing, always leading with LeBron. Kendrick Perkins said LeBron James should be the MVP this year. I mean, I about fell off my chair. I said, really? This is where we're at now? What the? I mean, what?
Yeah, Jim, two things.
He wasn't kidding.
No, and I swear to God, after they lost to that Bulls game, NBA.com, again, one of the banners going by is LeBron re-enters top 5 for MVP discussions. And a side note under it, they were still talking about the putback shot against the Pacers. And a whole nother basketball game has gone by that LeBron James lost for a team. We're talking about MVP. The other thing I wanted to say to what you said, Jim, it's not just that they constantly glaze for him. He goes on talk shows and talks about getting shit on and hated on. Like But then you have the LeBron fanboys with these headlines. I don't know why YouTube is suggesting these nobodies, but apparently all you have to do is support LeBron James and they'll try and get you to watch it. And they're saying LeBron keeps it real on the Pat McAfee show. I mean, it was the biggest spew of lies ever heard, and they're calling it keeping it real. Zay, hop in here.
I don't know how you can enter the MVP conversation with 3 games that you scored 24, 13, and 17 points. You also didn't make a 3 in any of those games. Dating back to your last 5 games, you were 1 of 19 from 3.
Exactly. It's not like he went 0 for 1. He's 0 for 9 fucking team.
It sounds like we can go be entered into the MVP conversation. You know what I mean? This is ridiculous. Fanboys, you must stop. You gotta stop. If you watched that game last night, you know that the Memphis Grizzlies are a first round exit. There's no way they're getting out of the first round with what they have there. Ja Morant, I like Ja Morant, but he's out of control. He's very out of control. He needs to watch some Derrick Rose highlights. He needs to watch somebody that has his type of athleticism, but had a controlled game. You would think he would have learned something from Derrick Rose being there, but I don't know what's going on. How many plays did we see last night where Ja Morant comes to the rim and he's leaving his feet too early? Doesn't know what he's going to do, and he's just leaving his feet. That's not the recipe for winning basketball, because that causes turnovers. That causes bad shots. You know what I mean? I don't think that's the recipe. Desmond Bane was really good for the Grizzlies last night. LaForty tried to take advantage of his size as he's supposed to. You got who was it? Vince Williams guarding him. Come on. Desmond Bane can't guard LeBron, man. this is too easy for him when you're going to put these smaller defenders on him when he's going to be able to do what he wants against smaller defenders. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, fanboy.
Can I respond to that when you're done real quick?
Okay, now you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, well, that's just a reflection of where we are. We talked about this 2 weeks ago when we're celebrating. Oh, my bad. My camera's off. You guys are welcome. My camera's back on. We're celebrating just attempts at dunks, right? That's what makes highlights now. Like when you look on House of Highlights or Bleacher Report or whatever, you'll see Ja Morant jumping from one leg outside the free throw line, and that's the trending topic. So Zay, you're right on the money. He's out of control because that's what keeps him relevant. Let him try to get a jumper and stop doing all these drives, and he'll fall off the planet in a heartbeat. I just wanted to get that out, that we're rewarding attempts. It's no different than there was that Luka LeBron highlight last night where they were trying to mimic the D Wade LeBron highlight, with the whole D Wade putting his hands out and all this. And I'm thinking to myself, both plays over the course of time prove the same consistent thing. Somebody else running the floor, running the court, running the offense, and LeBron trailing and dunking. And AOH, you're one of the first people to ever pull it, like show me this, and it's still being rewarded now. Like I get kind of like frustrated even thinking about like, yo, you guys are celebrating him just trailing the play, being lazy, and getting an easy dunk off of Luka's hard effort. And here we are, it's still happening.
By the way, nine of LeBron's 21 shot attempts last night were layups or dunks. And that's the only, and he's a recipient of cherry picking, and he's still coming in third. Quick shout out to Joel Ruiz, who it was turned on to us by Armando Ruiz. Cool. Thank you. Hey, Zay, back to what you said, size-wise, who is going to be an easier first-round matchup for the Lakers? Because I'm sure the league will get them one of the two, Memphis or the Warriors.
I would definitely say the Grizzlies. I feel like they want to play the Grizzlies, man. They're young. Zach Edey, he's a big body and everything, but he's a rookie. He has no idea about the nuances of playing in the playoffs, the little intricacies that LeBron being in the game so long that he's going to be able to utilize in the playoffs. Like, hey, you come into the rim, he's putting the extra hand on you, he's putting the extra elbow on you, just to kind of bother your shot and things like that. The whistle's going to get real tight in the playoffs, and that's not a good recipe for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, but you made the case, like you said before. It's Ja Morant. Ja Morant needs some damn accountability. He needs some smoke. This dude don't get no smoke, never, man. Don't know put no responsibility on this man. This dude's a certified clown. Ja Morant.
Put the gun down.
This dude can't sniff 70 games a season. He can't sniff it. He's never on the damn court. Of course, the Lakers want to play the Grizzlies. You'd rather play Steph Curry and Ja Morant, man. Give me Ja Morant all day because he's probably going to play 1 or 2 games in this series, and then he'll be out. Like you said, you hit the nail on the head, Zay. This man's out of control. He's all over the place. He's like the Tasmanian devil out there. You don't know what the hell he's doing. He don't know what he's doing. And I said the man's never on the basketball court, and they need to start putting some smoke to this man. Just like Zion Williamson, Devin Booker. I'll never hear no one talking about Devin Booker, man. What Devin Booker doing in his career? What the hell he doing out there? He don't get no smoke, man. I'm about to do the video on all these fools, man. Anthony Edwards, all these clowns, man. None of these fools out here doing a damn thing, man. Ja Morant out here, like you said, Speed, he's just a flash in the pan. Every once in a while, he'll break out with some flashy dunk. Good for you, man. You ain't doing nothing out there on the court, man. You unreliable, and this dude cannot play 70 games, man, let alone 60.
It's sad that I don't expect Ja to develop his game. I think it's very possible we already saw his peak.
How old is he? 24, 25? Ja Morant?
About that.
He's already dropped 2 home court playoff series already.
Wow.
Word.
Yeah. Golden State beat him, and then the Lakers beat him in 23. And they were I
was about to say Lakers beat him, exactly.
Yeah, they got smashed every year. And he's got a good team. But
he got good role players. You guys talked about some of those guys. They got a team, man. And like you said, they lost their coach now. What the hell is going on out here?
Yeah. Not much different of a set.
Goofs. They're all goofs. Robin, they're goofs.
Jordan had the same kind of setup, a good defensive team, but you're the primary scorer to make it happen. You know, please. And he tried to say he would cook Jordan. I mean, come on. This dude's a clown. We all know it.
Ja is the photo example of today's basketball players. He grew up, he was raised in a decent environment, but he talks about how hard his upbringing was. He's fake tough, and I would tell that to him to his face. And he does all the highlights. He does all the AAU. What's that little short guy that never went to the end? Never mind, he's not important. But he does all the highlight stuff that gets you notoriety everywhere other than the NBA. He is the picture of today's basketball. Period. Julian Newman was the dude I was thinking of.
I like a lot of these guys, man, but it's hard to get behind them when they're constantly running their mouths. They're constantly saying this. They're constantly doing that. But when you need them to show up when it matters, these guys are never there, man. They're never there when it matters. If you want to run your mouth and be one of those kinds of guys where you're always out on the scene, that's by all means do that. But you got to come out in the court and show and prove, man. You got to produce, man.
Gary says, it's great to see my man, self-researched NBA facts up here. Keep up the great work, guys. AOH and Sports and Fitness Rants are goated for life. And X in Wonderland says, shout out to all of you who cover the facts the mainstream media gets paid not to. Facts right there.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all.
G the Great. Thanks, man.
LeBrick ranks 438th in plus minus this season with a negative 76. MVP.
That doesn't even sound like that sounds like a made up stat, but it's true.
That's how low the bar is for LeBron James. I want you guys to think about that. That's how low it is for his fans, for his, the media to pump this narrative. The bar is that low. Michael Jordan with that ball on the Wizards that last year is an MVP 10 times over then.
It's so sad.
Here, I'm going to drop a bomb on you guys. I agreed with something that Nick Wright said this week. He said that when the Warriors and the Heat met each other, Nick Wright said, you know what? Jimmy Butler did not deserve a sweet revenge game. He didn't get one, but he didn't deserve one either. And I kind of agree because he was not very. I don't like the way that he left the Heat. I don't like the fact that he got the better end of the deal in the end. Like he basically got rewarded for it. And while Butler has helped the Warriors, he is not going to be enough to make the Warriors a contender, especially when the Lakers are going to be allowed to beat up on their small team. But I felt weird having to agree with Nick Wright on something, so I had to get that off my chest.
What's funny about, to me, when I think about Jimmy Butler on the Warriors, and you talk about the reception that he may have gotten, or maybe he deserved or didn't deserve, I think you're right as far as the way he left, the Miami Heat organization. I hang with a lot of these guys. They always try to play the victim, man. They're always the victim. And we all know the harsh reality of the business side of sports, man. No doubt about it. A lot of these guys feel like, they didn't get what they deserved, or, they were cheated out of X, Y, Z. I get all of that, man. But let's be honest. These guys are getting paid, man. You guys got your money, man. Ain't none of y'all starving, man. Stop acting like y'all not getting any amount of money, or y'all was getting cheated out of something, man. Once again, when these guys get held accountable, someone like Pat Riley, he holds these guys accountable. Let's think about something like Jimmy Butler. You think about last year. Remember, he didn't play in the postseason last year. He missed the entire playoffs. But what did Jimmy Butler decide to do? He decided to run his mouth and talk about the Celtics wouldn't have beat them or made it to the finals if they had to play the Miami Heat and he was there. That's what he was saying. And Pat Riley said, you can't run your mouth when you ain't on the court, man. Just shut up. He pretty much made Jimmy Butler look like a fool, man. So, when you think about someone like Jimmy Butler, I think about the Warriors. The Warriors with Jimmy Butler, he's at his best. Playoff Jimmy. And you have Steph Curry at his best doing Steph Curry things. And maybe you have a game where both of them go for 40 points in a game. And, they're doing their thing. Draymond Green is not selling his soul to LeBron James. He's going to hold some integrity out there and be a competitor. Then the Warriors can make some noise and do something.
Excuse me.
Zay, you've got some requests from fans. Can we get a God damn it?
God damn it. Man, boys. Oh, man. Yeah, the Warriors, they're not gonna beat the Lakers. Let's just keep it a buck, man. And to agree with Nick Wright, we definitely are living in the last days. I never thought that I would hear AOA say he agrees with Nick Wright. But I'm gonna be honest, man. Jimmy Butler, yes, he's an upgrade over Andrew Wiggins, but is he the answer for a championship? No, they need more size. They need somebody that's gonna battle in the paint. They need somebody that's gonna rebound. You know, we need the old Draymond Green, the ashy elbow Draymond Green back. Until we get ashy elbow Draymond Green back, no, it's not happening.
We got another super chat. John Petit. Did you guys listen to what LeBron said about past players? If you listen to him, he's talking about himself. Yeah, we got some of this off of our chests on Friday. I mean, the Pat McAfee thing is going to be a big part of today's show. I don't even know where to begin with that. I feel like every day I'm hearing a new headline of more insane shit coming out of that. I don't know. Do you even call it an interview? McAfee just sat there and giggled while LeBron said dumb things.
There's just no pushback anymore.
No,
there's no pushback anymore from the media.
Go ahead, Jim.
It's one-sided. The only guy ever they bring on there is Rick Bucher. He's the only guy ever here who doesn't agree with LeBron's the GOAT, everybody else sucks. Everybody else falls in line. I don't care who it is. They all fall in line, except for Rick Bucher. I don't even know why he's still on there. I figured they would have kicked him out years ago. He's the only one that'll give any pushback. And the worst is Chris Broussard, because he tries to straddle the line on both sides, saying, LeBron's second. He does.
I have an argument to that. I'll see your Chris Broussard, and I'll give you Kenny the Jet Smith, sir. As far as fence riders go, because those guys are ultimates.
Kenny does not give any criticism. He is a strict. He holds LeBron by the balls. He holds him by the balls for sure.
For someone to have the guts to have your hair painted on and have a but stand up to LeBron is wild.
It's sad to see that infiltrated the TNT crew.
Well, I mean, it's been subtle over the last few seasons. I don't know if you've noticed this, but like Charles Barkley has gotten a little bit less and less outward in his words as the years go by because he cares less and less. What I wanted to call attention to was, speaking of pushback, Jim, is I was irritated moderately, and then until the flop question was asked, and LeBron goes on about how he's bottom half of the league, free throws, this, blah, blah, blah. So guess what? I actually did a little bit of research. This man has been 45th, 45th, 56th, and 20th. Actually, no, 20th, 23rd, and 27th in the last 5 years in free throw attempts. That's just him. The Lakers, 4th, 6th, 2nd, and 2nd. So if my lazy ass can look that up, and there's no pushback whatsoever from Pat McAfee, who, like you said, AOH is just sitting there glazing him, asking him these questions like, again, LeBron, why are you such a great father? When you make a mistake, is it really a mistake if you do it? How do you strive for greatness? You know, where were you when the fires were? Like, asking all these questions that don't matter. But then the second he says anything that could be refuted with numbers, like his free throw percentage, which is abysmal, nobody has anything to say about it. It's so frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked if we're going to do calls. I think today's going to be a call day. Shoot to Jay with a super chat. Thank you.
Works for me.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting when you think about someone like Pat McAfee, for example. You know, what does he really know? He don't know a damn thing. What does he know about 70s era NBA? He don't know a damn thing, man. He knows less than LeBron James thinks he knows. So when you're talking about having an interview with some of these people, that's why on my videos, I mention a lot of times, you know, you'll see some of these ex-NBA players, whether they're big, superstar, known guys, or they're guys that you may not really remember, or they were just role guys. I often laugh at the interviewers, the people who, you know, do these shows, because first I can tell that these people don't know a damn thing. And once again, you think about, you mentioned the questions that they're asking these guys. They're not asking them any good questions that, or something that you want to hear the answer to. They're asking you nonsensical things. When you hear Pat McAfee have this conversation, because that's really what it was just a conversation that they were having, he allows LeBron James to say these things. But then once again, how was the Pat McAfee to even check LeBron James to say, well, hey, listen, man, I remember there were a lot of guys in the 70s that put up a lot of points like Pistol Pete Maravich and George Gervin and, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He can't tell you those things because he don't know what the hell he's talking about. So he couldn't tell you a damn person that played in the 70s. He couldn't give you any of those big name guys or, give any pushback, to what LeBron James is saying. And really the audacity of LeBron James to have and say those statements on that platform when, not too long ago, he was just upset because people were saying that Michael Jordan would average 50 points a game in this era. And he scoffed at that notion saying, oh, well, people act like someone could just come in and do those things. No, it's not someone, it's Michael Jordan. And why would people think that Michael Jordan could do those things? Because Michael Jordan earned a reputation to be what? The greatest scorer of all time. So what people are saying is that Michael Jordan, giving his prowess, his offensive abilities, the overall game, the way that he has 10 scoring ties, literally consecutively, if we think about this, he would be able to do this in this era. Because why? Because we know, in fact, we can see the reality that this era is a lot softer, and they've made it easier to score. They want it to be easier to score. It's not by accident. These are the way that they made the rules, and they push the game, man. So LeBron James gets upset with these things. I heard him say something about Dennis Rodman in the comments that Dennis Rodman made about him, and, he wouldn't necessarily be able to play back in them days, man. And he laughed at Dennis Rodman and Dennis Rodman's lack of quote-unquote skills, and if he would be able to play in this era. But I laugh at, once again, LeBron James and his lack of overall knowledge of Dennis Rodman's overall game. It takes skills to do what Dennis Rodman did at the level that he did it, man. But LeBron James won't say these things.
McAfee hosts a sports talk show and did not know that Kusi played in the 50s and 60s.
Jesus. Any one of us would crush that guy. I mean, he don't know nothing about the NBA. I wish he would just shut up. I do credit Giannis for what he said, though. He said, look, if I played in the 70s, I would have played like those guys did. So I do credit. He didn't say anything outlandish or stupid. He's not LeBron. You know what I mean? He's not a jerk off like freaking LeBron is.
Zay, a lot of people are concerned about your cousin, but I'm assuming he's okay now. I'm assuming it's okay now after the last game.
Oh, yeah, he's back. He relapsed. He is back out causing horror. He's a $150 full of horror. Nah, play. But
So
Pat McAfee, I want to say this. Pat McAfee even admitted himself that he doesn't know basketball. He said, I am a hockey guy. LaForty James went to see a hockey guy to talk about basketball. He didn't go to Kendrick Perkins. He didn't go to Shannon Fry. He didn't go to Richard Jefferson. He went to Pat McAfee, a hockey guy, to talk basketball where he would get no type of pushback. He wouldn't get asked any question that would undermine him. Matter of fact, Pat McAfee was leading him throughout the conversation. Of course, Pat McAfee was leading him by using words to describe what LeBron is trying to say because LeBron doesn't know what the fuck he's trying to say. That's the problem. He doesn't have a vocabulary. He's like, yeah, you mean this? He's like, yeah.
Reading the witness, Your Honor.
Speaking of no pushback,
things of that nature, it's strive for greatness.
Speaking of no pushback, so McAfee did talk about flopping, and LeBron didn't deny it. He went into the excuse making of, I don't get whistles, which is, thank you for doing research, Speam, but we all know that that's insane. But
1 second, my bad.
Hey, don't devalue my research, AOH. Don't devalue my research. Just come on. What are we doing here?
You. Sometimes your jokes are just dreadful.
I know Pat McAfee was a punter, somebody in the comment section, but he said he watched football and hockey. He didn't watch basketball. That's what I'm trying to say.
It doesn't matter anymore. This is just like
He's just joking.
But honestly, how do you not come back with, hey, LeBron, you just admitted that you're flopping? LeBron served it up for him to say that. It's like, oops.
You know what the reality is, AOH, when you think about these statements about LeBron James and the fouls, and, a lot of times we hear LeBron James fans talk about, oh, LeBron James don't get no calls. He don't get no calls. He gets fouled every time. They need to understand something. Either they're not watching the game or, like we all know, they don't want to live in the reality of the video footage. Because what do we see when you watch LeBron James play basketball? LeBron James, most of the time, is initiating contact. He's the one going into people. People aren't necessarily getting in his way and bouncing into him. He's the one initiating this.
Yeah.
He's the one lowering his shoulder, going into guys. So oftentimes you're not going to get that call because you're literally digging into guys' chests. Where else how they're going to go? The fact that LeBron James actually gets calls in some of these scenarios is what we're talking about. But they'll never call LeBron James for the travel he does once he tries to gather his balance at the end of these moves. They won't call that though, and his fans won't talk about these things. LeBron James gets officiated the way that he gets officiated, and the man doesn't even get officiated. He still hasn't passed Michael Jordan in personal fouls. How was that even possible when you played almost damn near 500 more games than this man?
Good point.
Can I point out one character flaw real quick? You know how we always talk about people use the word literally whenever they're lying? Yeah. So his response to the flopping was, I am like literally over the last 5 to 6 years when everybody's been claiming I flop all the time. I'm like in the bottom half of free throw attempts per game. First of all, that sentence, that phrase doesn't make any sense. I think my dog can speak like a little bit more clearly than that, right? You're using the word literally to start off a statement because you don't know what you're going to say because it's coming from a place of dishonesty. So the fact, again, that Pat McAfee's like, oh, you know, can I have some figures to back up what you're saying? Anything you're saying? Nothing.
The same thing as, to be honest.
Go ahead, my bad.
Honestly, as a man, as a player, as a father, all these things buy you time.
Keep him Akron.
He buys him time to just get to the next I mean, LeBron James is buying himself time in between ums and lies. Let me read a few chats. Be Wonderful is back. Thank you. Keep up the great work, fellas. Let's roll. And we have Cameron Peterson. Why didn't Pat mention the steroid allegations? Yeah, you know, that's the way that journalists are supposed to ask hard questions. Stebby J, LeBron can't chat with MJ and Kobe about basketball. True. I can't imagine a conversation between LeBron and MJ. He would not be able to be near that soft, feminine energy bitch. Justin Messenger says, even in interviews, LeBron has to be carried. Nice.
That's gold.
True.
Nice.
Thanks.
Mr.
Said soft energy, bitch.
Mr. Laugh Out Loud Cow says, LeBum James lacks the mental fortitude to have a debate about his career. He consistently ducks real journalists to just stay within his circle. You know, if LeBron has to learn how to flop, you got to be, if you say I have to learn how to flop, you got to be smart enough not to justify flopping in an interview. He just contradicted himself.
It's sad.
Oh, that's new. Him contradicting himself. That's new. And peep this. There was a BET.com, which I didn't even know was still a thing. Read an article about the interview. There's a title for it. Hold on. I'm going to read this here. Hold on. Where are we at?
I didn't even know that was still a thing.
25 bombshell moments from LeBron James candid McAfee interview. So you know how I'm always pointing out that LeBron James cusses unnecessarily to prove some kind of, I don't even know what it is, you know? They reference that he drops the quote unquote F-bomb so many times that it makes him seem edgy. So the fact that they're calling attention to that just further proves that it's just another branding thing. And there was a question when Pat McAfee asked him about his upbringing, and guess what? Don't you know LeBron brought up bringing from the inner city? Did you know he was from the inner city? Did you know he had a hard childhood? I didn't know that. I've never heard that before, but they mentioned it several times during that interview, right? In addition to him using the phrase "tidy whities," kind of tells you everything you need to know. Nobody naturally uses that phrase "tidy whities" unless they're memorizing something. Granted, I'm 39. In my 39 years of life, I don't think I've ever said the word tidy whities, and I'm like lower middle class nobody. So you mean to tell me this multi-billionaire said Stephen A. Smith is just sitting on his couch in his tidy whities eating ice cream? Yo, who talks like that? Nobody, unless they're being disingenuous. I just wanted to call that out. I've been drinking. I really don't drink all like that. It's like alcohol plus an energy drink. So don't mind.
Speaking of, that brought up another thing. LeBron basically showed bitterness bitterness that he was drafted by Cleveland. When he was saying that it was rigged. I don't know if you guys heard that part, but it's saying that the 2023 draft was rigged, and he sounded very, very bitter about it, like he wanted to go to New York or somewhere like that. So let's not also walk around wearing this kid from Akron and I did all of this for Cleveland bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Truth is, you never wanted to be there, and you shit on that franchise not once but twice.
Yeah, the whole 2016 is for you, Cleveland. Please. This is for you, LeBron, because that one made me.
This is for you.
No, it's not.
You know what's funny when you talk about the language theme and you mention a word like edgy, or you mention something like how people might describe him or talking in that way. And for me, it's laughable because once again, when you think about the way that LeBron James projects himself and presents himself in public, he doesn't come across as edgy at all. When I watch LeBron James play basketball, he doesn't seem like he's playing with an edge. The dude's always rolling around the floor. He's always rubbing on his head. I mean, the guy's looking at his arm like there's gonna be some imaginary scratch for like 5 minutes. There's nothing there, dude. What do we do? What are we looking at, man?
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, when I listen to them in interviews, when I listen to them in post-game press conferences, wherever it is, a podcast, wherever it is, a lot of these guys come across as uneducated. They don't come across as edgy. Cursing and saying, all these other words and using these kinds of MFers and the N-word this and bro that, you don't come across as edgy. You don't come across as cool to me, especially someone like LeBron James. Dude, you're 40 years old. You've been in the league 22 years. Why are we cursing so much? Can we move on from this language and can we grow up right here now and once again carry ourselves like a grown-up and speak a certain way in certain settings? There's no need to curse all the time. Some of these guys, every time you see them in an interview, it's MF this N-word, bro. I mean, Mike, it's cringy is what it is. It's not edgy, it's cringy.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Like, my goodness.
Shout out to whoever said in the chat, it's an awful statement, and I laughed, but they said LeBron was going to die at 55 because of the steroids. And I think it's the alcohol, because dying's not funny. But that statement's funny to me. Because it's the steroid boils that might kill him, right? Which is why it's hashtag shave that beard. And I shouldn't laugh. I'm done laughing. I'm sorry.
But remember, people like, LeBron James, he thinks he's going to live forever. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't worried about none of these kinds of things, the repercussions, because people like that, like I said, ain't worried about none of this. Like I said, when you think about LeBron James, I talked about this before, he's never had really any friends. All he has is people around him that are doing things for him. And once he feels like you're not doing enough for him or you're not doing, what you're supposed to be doing, then he seems to cut you off. Like I said, it's so funny to me that, he'll seem to talk about someone like Brian Windhorst in that manner when this man's done nothing but bend over backwards for LeBron James to highlight all of this nonsense that we always shake our head and think about Brian Windhorst has sold his own integrity and how a lot of us view him. Think about how people talk about this man. Because of LeBron James, he's sold himself for that.
Yeah. He's another ESPN clown. He's just another one of those guys, you know what I mean? But he's been with LeBron since the beginning. They know each other since what, junior high? I mean, years. It's like, that's the dude you're making fun of? Wow, man. He goes, yeah, LeBron doesn't care. He just, like you said, he'll get what he can out of people and then move on. That's all he just uses people. That's what he's used to. Everybody kisses that. Period.
It's crazy that he called.
He's a bully, yo. Windhorst is a person. I'm sorry, my bad. Say Windhorst is the type of individual who would get bullied in real life, and LeBron takes advantage of that. It's no different than it's like Sonnen. Say something to Sonnen. Dude's attacking your integrity every day. You have nothing to say about it. But Brian Windhorst, who is sheepish and non-threatening at all, kind of a friendly guy, right? As much as we make fun of him, you're taking shots at him on a public forum, calling him weird. This dude probably he worships you. Like, his paychecks probably have your name at the bottom of them, and you're going to attack him in a setting like that. It's one thing if you do it behind the scenes, right? Yeah. But you're in this interview that is going to be trending, that is going to shake the foundation of the NBA, and you choose that time to attack the dude who's kind of responsible for your paycheck. In a sense, it was terrible.
He has no loyalty. He's never had loyalty to a team, to a teammate, to a friend. I mean, show me an example of his loyalty. You know what I mean?
The disrespect for Brian Windhorst is crazy. I've seen interviews where somebody's asking him something. He's like, "Oh, go ask Wimby." but you're calling Wemby weird, and you don't acting like you don't know Wemby. When Wemby knows you better than anybody in the media. It doesn't make sense. And then you get on Pat McAfee and lie and say, oh, growing up in the inner city, and then you don't speak about the white family that took you in, the white family whose address that you use in order to go to St. Vincent St. Mary, which is a Catholic school. You know what I'm saying? So this guy's living out his 8-mile dream. We're watching the 8-mile dream yesterday. So it's unbelievable that fanboys continue to eat this up. They're calling this the interview of the generation, the interview of the time. Like, what are you talking about? You read the comment section. Like, it's unbelievable how low the bar has been set for humanity when a fucking liar can get on television and cultivate you guys. Come on, man. Like, knock it off. Like,
I mean, it's sad. I'm not gonna bother because they're so dumb. But you fanboys literally take what the media tells you to say and do it. You are obedient, mindless robots who have no fucking idea what happened in the past and don't even know what's happening in the present. Like, what exactly is wrong with you to be blindly led and not even know what you're talking about? Is so disturbing that I just pray to God you don't reproduce.
Like, these guys sit around in think tanks and they pick up and they use buzzwords. I've never heard people that use the word longevity. I've never heard some of you use longevity in a sentence, but now you're using longevity in order to make a case full of 40 James.
Yeah. LeBron goes.
I can't spell longevity, by the way.
LeBron goes from flexing like the Hulk Hogan when he's trucking 6'1" point guard
Hulk Hogan
to Nancy Kerrigan when he's writhing on the floor after pretending to be fouled.
Damn.
That's a good
I'd
one.
be curious to see how many people in this chat know who Nancy Kerrigan is. I have an even lesser opinion of Stephen A. Right now because I'm glad he responded, but it goes to show how controlled he is because he had to respond on his own platform. He couldn't even respond how he wanted to on ESPN like LeBron did. Like, LeBron can take all these shots talking about tighty whities and ice cream and all that stuff, but Stephen A has to go on his own little bootleg network that and talk about it, because if he goes on his own show, and speaks how he wants to, they'll probably fire his ass. So and not to mention the dude from BET, the editor, also works for ESPN, by the way. So it's all connected.
So, the other topic, we probably won't have time for it because that McAfee show was so insane. We were going to talk about this idea of what are we going to do when LeBron retires? That's such a absurd thing to say. And, I thought about Scap Attack, actually, because what percent of Scap Attack's material is about Kobe Bryant? How long has Kobe Bryant not only been retired, but not with us? But if you go to douchebags like FYF or Gil's Arenas channels, and you look at their material, a better question is, what are you guys going to do? What are you going to do when LeBron retires? And again, like my Kobe point, 50% of their material is LeBron glazing. The other half is Jordan hating. Now, how long has Jordan been retired? I don't know why anyone thinks that there will be a problem when LeBron retires, because we have 22 years of unearthing of his lies and bullshit.
Yeah, no, I barely brush up against like the modern season. It's all LeBron's career is usually the stuff that I do with what I get called a hater or whatever. It's for his whole career. So he could retire tomorrow. It would not affect me one bit. You know what I mean? In fact, it'd be better so I'd have some final numbers on him. But, it will make no difference.
No, that's a good point that you make, Jim. And a lot of people out there, like you mentioned, AOH, a lot of the people that are doing content that are LeBron James fans, I always laugh. They don't do videos on LeBron James. They do videos on making fun of Michael Jordan. They do videos talking about Scottie Pippen and what he did for Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan played basketball 1 year, so what the hell are you guys talking about? But more importantly, let's think about LeBron James in that interview for a second. And let's think about what we're doing out here. What we're doing is educating people, man. That's what we're doing out here, man. We're setting the record straight. So when you're setting the record straight and you're stopping them from trying to rewrite history and create these narratives, you're educating people. That's ultimately what we're doing out here. When you think about LeBron James in his interview, what he could have done was educated the people out there. He knows he has the platform. So in an instance where Giannis' name gets brought up, let's say, instead of saying, oh yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he couldn't even pronounce his name right, but he says Giannis Antetokounmpo, and then he starts to talk about 250 points in a single game. Not over the course of a month, not over 5 games or, things of that nature. He said 250 points in a damn game. I mean, insane. Not even an NBA team scored 250 points in an NBA game, but one player will. Okay, instead of saying that, LeBron James could have simply said, hey man, Giannis is a freak athlete. It would have been crazy to see him going against some of the legendary big men like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Will Chamberlain or Dave Cowens or George McGinnis or Wes Unseld or a bunch of these other guys that were playing back in them days. He could have gave homage to the guys back in the day. He could have educated the people listening so where they're like, wait, who's Wes Unseld? Who's Bob Lanier? Who's some of these guys that were playing back in the day? Who is Dave Cowens, right? Maybe they don't know. Now they hear these names. Now they go and look into these guys. And now all of a sudden you educated people. But instead, you make it seem as if the guys who played back in the day just had short shorts and they didn't play in a 10-foot rim.
Justin Messenger, quick shout outs to the super chats. Jim. Hey.
Yeah, that's a
Just
good one.
Justin Messengers that keep remembering the rules. We got to say that. To be honest with you, if you ask me, LeBron loyal to steroid.
Thank you.
LeBron is loyal to the steroid supply system.
Yeah.
And what is the other one? Shoot the J is dying to get in and call. Praise the Dawn. Nah, saying bruh on my God. Actually,
exactly. See, they know. That's what they sound like when they speak, like a bunch of goofs.
Goose. They're goose. They're goose.
I'm
period.
gonna say what you gotta say, man. They can never get to the point because they don't know how to express themselves. These dudes don't know how to talk. And you know why a lot of that is? Because these guys are lying. They gotta live in this narrative. I told you, LeBron James is the George Costanza of the NBA. He don't know what lie he's living. He don't know what to say. He has to think, wait, who am I talking to right now? What are we talking about? Wait, are we talking about the Malcolm X book again? Wait a second. Wait, he don't know where he is.
King Speech Rose says, shout out to Giannis who didn't accept the glazing. Indeed. Good for you, Giannis. You know what, Giannis? Become the face. Become
good
the face.
dude. Good man.
Yeah, it's stupid for LeBron James.
He doesn't want it, AOH. They tried to make him. Yeah, they tried to make him the face of the league a few seasons ago. He doesn't want it. He's just like this baller. He just wants to go out there and dominate. Real quick, because the inner city thing bothers me. You reminded me again, Robin. I found the exact quote, and I quote, this is the Pat McAfee response to his struggle, blah, blah, blah. I'm living in Section 8 housing. It's me and my mom. And, we trying to figure it out. And I'm like, oh, if I commit to this, I can figure it out. I could figure it out. Oh, my gosh, this is terrible to even read. I could figure it out for not only myself, but for my mom. Get out of the inner city and make something out of it, end quote. So you can, like I said, and we need to do this every week. You can make a motherfucking bingo card out of what this man says, and everybody will win at the same time. It's disgusting how it's so manufactured. But the second you say anything about it, or like I guess me or Robin or Zay, like you hate black men, you're a coon, blah blah blah. But it's like no, like yo, like all right, you came from this, we get it. But once you reach a certain tax bracket, you ain't black, you're not white, you're just green. Like that's the only thing that people see. So it's great to hear about, but goddamn, like no, but you're not a victim anymore.
No, but
you know what I mean?
See, what you're alluding to here is what the problem is that the real problem here for someone like LeBron James to speak that way is that ultimately he has forgotten where he's come from. LeBron James is a guy who tells us to go back to our boring lives. Dude, you're supposed to come from those humble beginnings, but you're talking down to the common folk. So if you're going to talk about, hey, I'm a kid from Akron, or I came from the streets, or I came from XYZ, that's great, man. Everyone has a story, man, right? But you should not forget if it was really that hard and that egregious, that bad, then you should remember that. And that should be something that carries you in the way that you act. LeBron James, once again, acts like an elitist who always came from money. He's forgotten where he's come from. So he says things to the people. So he'll say things and then delete the tweets. What kind of real man who stands on business could constantly tweeting things and then deletes them? Once again, a guy who doesn't mean what he says or says what he means. This is LeBron James. So don't give me your sob story, but then once again, talk down to the common folk.
Jim, did we lose you? I was about to ask you to drop some stats on us.
No. Well, what do you want to hear? Something I did recently?
Yeah, how about just some of LeBron's worst numbers in these
All right.
finals?
Well, I had a good one yesterday. A lot of people really seem to like it. So in the history of the NBA, there's been 74 MVPs, right? Okay. Out of the 74, 28 of them were wing players. Who do you think was the worst free throw shooting MVP wing of all time? Who do you think it was?
I got one guess.
LaFody
Okay.
or
I got one
Giannis?
guess.
Who do you think was second from the bottom? LeBron James. Who was third from the bottom? LeBron James. And who was fourth from the bottom?
Holy crap.
LeBron James.
No
He's got
way.
the bottom four. Yeah.
He's the bottom. He is the bottom.
Yeah.
By the way,
I don't think people
He's
realize
the bottom, which, yeah.
how bad of a free throw shooter LeBron James really is, man. And he's such a bad free throw shooter in relation to the position that he plays. Like, that's what Jim is highlighting to you. When you think about someone who's a quote-unquote skill position player, right? These skill guys, the wing players, these guys are supposed to be shooting in the high 70s, into the low 80s, into maybe the mid 80s. That's what these guys would normally shoot. But when you think about LeBron James, he's had more seasons shooting in the 60s from the free throw line and has no seasons ever shooting in the 80s, man, from the free throw line. So what does that do? That affects his psyche when he plays the game. So late in games, what do we know about LeBron James? He don't want to go to the hole. He don't want to go to the free throw line.
Penn State and Ohio Sports Talk, you guys literally look like you have Nick Wright's hand up your ass moving your mouths. Like, do you guys have these things copying and pasted from their shows? Like, it's all glittering generalities that don't have any actual facts or stats behind them. Now, Jim just dropped some terrible, terrible, horrifying facts on your heads, and I know that you stopped being able to hear all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's talking about this guy said some LeBron transition from star to facilitator.
Oh no.
He's
LeBron,
not a pass first guy. What? He just took the most shots. What the are you watching the game?
Yo. That shit is so accurate.
mother
Oh my gosh.
Windhorse's mother was LeBron's teacher at St. Vincent. To act like he doesn't know him is crazy. And he's the reason he went from the plain dealer to Miami, and now ESPN is crazy. That was a super chat from.
She's got to be a terrible teacher then, because he can't fucking read. She's got to be an awful teacher. She can't keep her job. He can't read. He can't write. I highly doubt he's great at math. So she's a terrible teacher.
Ohio Sports Talk said LeBron's impact off the court elevates his legacy, his activism, philanthropy.
You see what I'm saying? Tell us an example. Tell us an example.
Museum.
All you do is repeat exactly what the media does. Yep. The media never gives examples. The media talks about IQ without an example.
Yup.
Hey, Ohio Sports Talk is AI. He's got to be AI.
Yeah, like you said, tell him to give an example of LeBron James' impact. I literally just mentioned LeBron James in the Malcolm X book. Is that LeBron James being an activist? Is that? We talk about LeBron James building a school, and then you, in that same very school, you build a shrine to yourself in that school? Really, LeBron James?
The Jesse Glad
and his sneakers, Robin, and his sneakers.
The Jesse Glad, yeah. I mean, the dude put on his glasses and
with no lenses.
Yeah. And
not with non-prescription glasses.
He was going to do it to act like he was talking about something philosophical. He was talking in his sneaker room. I didn't know that until later. Like, it was bad enough that he dresses up and pretends to be a professor and shit like that. And then you found out all he was doing was talking about his fucking sneakers. Jesse Black,
Professor Steroid Boyle.
Tim Duncan, a notoriously erratic free throw shooter, had 2 seasons shooting a higher free throw percentage than LeBric's career best. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Duncan
Hey,
is really
someone in the
because
chat said that.
Do you have a delay, Speam? Because you are cutting people off horribly.
yeah.
I might just be doing that naturally, but I hear you right now.
Robin, what were you saying?
He spoke 5 minutes ago.
What?
Yeah, see, he got delayed like a MFer right there, man. Yo, listen.
All right.
With the free throw thing, I want to talk about the mental aspect of the free throw thing, because I made a mental decision to improve my free throws. I wouldn't let myself leave the court until I made X number in a row. And like, if you'd miss like the one before you were allowed to leave, it was because your mind went somewhere else. And if you actually force yourself to stay focused and in the moment, you can actually achieve it. I mean, a free throw is not a very hard thing to do. But LeBron James is mentally weak. I mean, is anything more clear than mental weakness than not being able to get your fucking free throws down?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it affects his overall game. Like, listen, if LeBron James is going to shoot 75, 73, 72%, 71, whatever he's shooting from the free throw line is one thing. But the problem I have with LeBron James overall is that it alters his mindset in the games. At the end of these moments, he's not the same guy. If you're a bad free throw shooter, you're a bad free throw shooter, all right, man. But at least don't let your mindset change. At least still attack the rim. That's why he made that pass to George Hill in 2018, man. He dropped it. You dropping it to George Hill under the backboard? That alters your mind. You're jacking the game up, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah, that just triggered some research. I'm going to research what's his career in the first half versus the second half.
Zay, I think you're right about these fanboys. This looks like AI generated shit.
There's got to be AI. Like, I mean,
especially when they start spelling correctly all of a sudden.
Yo, guys, I got to get going, man. I told you guys I had to end a little early today. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. Yo, thank you very much, all you guys are true supporters, man. Yo, Jim, man, good seeing you.
Yeah,
Zay,
you too,
once
Rob.
again, you know the deal. Steam, you know the deal. There's all the video footage, AOH.
All right, Robin.
Yo, you guys know, man. I'll catch you
Rob.
guys on the next one.
Thanks
you
for being
be
here,
good.
Robin.
All
See you, man.
You say,
Hey, did Robin just leave, or did he leave 20 minutes ago and I still have a delay?
nah, so I mean, we're talking. People are saying he's a global icon. What is he global at? His school is failing. Nobody's watching his movies. I don't know nobody who has seen a LeBron James produced movie, and his shoes are on the shelf. Where is he a global icon at?
Africa shoes.
First of all, the school system
in Africa, they like his shoes in Africa.
The school system paid for half of the school. LeBron James's foundation paid for the other half, which means that he took donations from other organizations which paid for it. LeBron didn't pay for a damn thing out of his own pocket. And then he used that money to paint murals of himself inside of the place. And still can't fucking help any of the students that go there, and apparently just fuck around all day instead of learning.
I heard all the kids before they go into the building, they got to do the powder toss.
Jonathan McFarland says,
"Oh, hey, real quick, Penn State Sports Talk. Sorry, I know I have a delay. Let me get this out. That's fine. Saying his shoes is elite is blasphemy. Please call in and say something and argue me on that. Please go ahead. My bad. I'm gonna back out and fix this delay since I'm fucking everything up. That's what Penn State says.
Yeah, we're not going to acknowledge AI. Jonathan McFarland says, just want to say a shout out to the entire panel. Great stream. And one more here. King Speech Row. LeBron is a subpar player outside of 3 feet. And that's being generous.
Yeah, that's very generous because he's about 37% outside of it. So, and that drops down per playoffs. And then when you get to the finals, it gets even worse.
Since LeBron has come back from his fake injury, while you fanboys are talking about his being an Iron Man and his consistency, despite missing more games than Anthony Davis. He came back, and since that time has been third or fourth highest scorer on the team in every fucking one of those games. So don't talk about leading the team. The only thing he leads the team in is turnovers and uncalled technicals.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. It's disgusting to watch his game. I don't know how fanboys can look at his game, see he can't dribble, he can't shoot, he's ineffective outside the paint. He turns the ball over and think that this is the greatest. We're talking about the greatest of all time with so many flaws in his game. He's masquerading as a pass-first guy when he is leading the team in shots. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they do the what about thing all the time. What about this? What about that? But it's like, you guys are saying he's the GOAT. So we're looking at it through the lens of him being the GOAT. So, you know what I mean? The standard is the highest. So exactly. I get into this all the time with people. It's like, as an average player, one thing, but you're saying he's the GOAT. And he's got so many flaws and shortcomings. I get accused of I'm sure you guys do too, cherry picking. Like, try to cherry pick Michael Jordan. Try to cherry pick Bill Russell. Go for it. You know what I tell them all the time. And nobody ever has anything to say. It's the same crap. You know what I mean? Cherry picking. It shouldn't be so easy if he's the GOAT. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Zay and I were talking about that Friday. Like, you guys are saying going through the game and having an hour's worth of footage from one game is cherry picking?
Yeah.
The videos could be much longer, but we would literally be making hour-long videos, like AOA said. That's the thing, is that when people talk about the greatest of something, when you're the greatest of something, you defy circumstance. The greatest is something that you can't explain. This person is so good, no matter the circumstance, he will come out victorious. That is not LeBron James.
Exactly.
That is not him. Michael Jordan is the only person in NBA history that has defied circumstance. When he gets into a championship round, there is no denying him. It doesn't matter who's on the other side of the ball. It didn't matter.
Justin Messenger with a super chat says LeBron's shooting stats are like a quarterback with 80% accuracy, only throwing screens.
He's a dink and dunker. That's what he is.
And one more super here from Import. Biggest lie. MJ and him don't talk because he's active. Well, I don't know if it's the biggest lie, but boy, there was a lot in one show.
That is one of the biggest lies, because he had a relationship with Kobe when Kobe Bryant was active.
Well, I'm not saying it's not a big lie, but we're talking about LeBron James here. That's a big list to choose from.
Like LeBron, you know he does not like you. He doesn't want to deal with you. He knows the manipulation tactics that you use with your media to create propaganda, and he wants nothing to do with it.
I wonder how many offensive fouls don't get called. Talk about self-research. If you want a challenge, start going through and seeing how many times LeBron James should have fouled out in the first fucking period of games.
No.
And then narrow that down because you'll have too much. Narrow that down to games in which LeBron James had 0 fouls called on him, and he should have fouled out in the first period.
Yeah, how does that happen? How does he initiate contact, but they call the foul on the other player? I've never seen anything like it. I mean, he gets such special treatment in everywhere, any forum, whether it's the game itself, it's the media, it's whatever. He's got to have all this cover, all this special treatment. Just like I said, if he's the GOAT, he won't need any of that. But we all know.
Jonathan McFarland says Jordan faced adversity head on. LeBron ran from adversity. He's afraid to fail. Well, and then he fails anyway, and then the media covers for him.
Like, this guy is always looking for an out. He's not looking for a way to beat a team. Maybe I should get better in this area. Maybe I should improve my game. He's looking to trade, replace, or escape from the team.
Speam, did you leave and come back to test your connection?
Yeah, is it any better?
It does seem better.
Still bad? That's okay. Oh, good. Okay. I wanted to say real quick, did anybody else catch the Rajon Rondo comment calling the Celtics a big four. Yeah, so he said he said nobody remembered how great Rajon Rondo was, so the Celtics had a big four. I forget the exact quote, but another excuse as to why he struggled against. Yeah, he did. Let me find it. Hold on.
Christ. Does he have to shit on everyone?
Oh yeah.
This is the most
Hold on. Oh, okay. Here it is. And I quote. And then you look at the big four that Boston had. Everybody talk. Man, his English is so bad. Everybody talk about the big three, but everybody always decides for some odd reason that Rondo wasn't as great as Rondo was. It's always just the big three. Rondo was a dog. He brought it all. How do you not see through that? How do you not see through the revisionist history? Nobody ever said that Rajon Rondo was part of this big four in Boston. In addition to the fact that it was a big three if you want to be technical, but these were guys at the tail end of their careers. So for them to even be brought up is just is silly. And I mean, it's expected. I'm just happy my lag isn't as bad.
What's weirder or worse that LeBron James had 3 out of 5 of his starters as the best players in the Eastern Conference and said they didn't have enough.
Yeah. No, they were
or the fact that he is, instead of just taking really good players and putting them on his team, literally depleting the rest of his own conference by taking the best that are currently there.
Yeah, no, the in PER, the top 4 players was LeBron, Kobe, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. He had 3 of the top
shit in the entire league.
Yep, in the whole league. That'd be the question I would ask LeBron. I say, LeBron, what was it after 2010 when Bosh joined Wade? Because he joined before LeBron signed. What was it that made you not want to beat those guys but join them? I would love to know the answer to that question. Because you'd force him into saying, because I'm a coward. But, of course, he would never say that. But that's the answer. I'm a coward. I didn't want to try the hard way. I wanted to join them and take the easy way. That's the bottom line.
Yep, and you heard D Wade say, "Hey, man, they seen Kobe win number 5.
Yeah,
and they said, "Hey, we have to form a Justice League to stop Kobe."
Poppy says, "Can we acknowledge how the Cookies overcame Stephen A's bullying?" Poor LeBron. The things that LeBron has persevered through, and a devastating hyperextended labia to score the game-winning tip-in against Indy and beat the scary Grizzlies. Goat behavior. Am I right?
So the doctor of hyperextended libias. He's the goat of hyperextended libias. He went to the doctor.
Let me add to your list. I shit you not. ESPN brought up the LA Fires again.
Are you serious? I was just making a joke.
They did.
Oh my gosh. I don't mean to desensitize, a disaster, but it's like, what? Like, we make jokes about this stuff, and then it happens. You ever see the movie Idiocracy?
Yeah. Well, I saw the first.
Anyway, right, and that's exactly where we are now. Like, that was a joke when it came out, but we make these jokes about things that are going to be referred to, like his door being spray painted on, or Draymond calling him a bitch and how he folds like origami when that happens. We make these jokes, and then he does it the very next game. At some point, why can't you just say we're right?
So Import says Cavs LeBron's only All-NBA first-team opponent was D Rose. That'll be right up your alley, Jim, with your self-researched facts. In fact, I think you did one about that.
Yeah, at least in the East, that's true. I just did one the other day. His record against first-team All-NBA is 5-6. He's got a losing record, and that's why I say to people, like, what more do you want from me? He plays top 5 players for MVP. His record is 5-8. He plays first-team All-NBA. He's 5-6. Top 5 net-rated teams. I think he was something like 6-7. What do you want me to do? These are just the facts. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not making it up. Just go look it up yourself, and I get all kinds of hate for it, and it is what it is. You know what I mean?
They won't do that, Jim.
With them
they won't do that, Jim.
Yeah, this is the problem with them with these glittering generalities. LeBron James has unmatched perseverance and excellence over an period of time. Yeah, that sounds nice. It's not fucking true.
Right. Exactly.
Stop saying shit that sounds nice because you heard Nick Wright or Shannon Sharp say it, and fucking start trying to think.
Yeah.
Maintain 15 says 5 out of 6 finals MVP were defended or matched versus LeBron. Jim, that also sounds like some stats that might be up your alley.
Wait a minute. What was it again? 5 out of 6.
Excuse me.
I'm putting it up on the screen. 5 out of 6 finals MVP were defended or matched versus LeBron. I guess meaning that the previous...
the counterpart. Yeah. Like Kawhi Leonard got one. Andre Iguodala got one. Who was the other ones? It was KD got 2 of them.
Yeah, KD.
I'm guessing that's what they're saying. And then I think Dirk Nowitzki got one against them, and then it was
Curry's got one.
7. So he must be talking about forwards. 5 of the 6 were forwards, absolutely, that beat LeBron. Yes, that's a fact.
Shoot the J says the decision is responsible for the decline of the NBA. I tell you what, it sure marked a very clear moment. You know, if it by itself is, I don't know, but I know a lot of people want to pretend like other people did things similar. No, nothing even close to that.
Nothing like this.
No.
And
when did David Stern retire?
I think
What year? Does anybody remember?
24?
06, 08?
06?
Oh, was it? I thought.
I'm looking up.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I'm curious because a lot of people say that you know a lot of this is on David Stern in terms of some of the policies he put out, but then you know Adam Silver is such a soft individual, so these things are currently happening, and he's just being bent over and just taken advantage of in a very visibly uncomfortable way. I don't know how long his contract is, but it's not going to get any better. You know what I mean?
No.
David Stern officially retired February 1st of 2014.
I looked that up too. That sounds later than I expected.
Yeah, me too. A lot later.
Yeah, I was thinking more like 07, 08.
No, because I mean, the last 11 years have been the worst 11 years for the NBA due to Adam Silver. So,
yeah.
I mean, 2016 bullshit. Nick Tri-State says Kobe has eliminated twice as many 50-win playoff teams compared to LeBron. Braun has got to multiple finals by not even beating a 50-win team. That's what do you say to that, fanboys? Did you even hear that stat? I mean, because those are actual numbers, which I'm guessing you can't process and your AI chatbot can't respond to. I know you're using AI because you started spelling correctly.
That is so funny. The fact that you say since it's correct, it can't be from a LeBron fan. That's like the funniest thing you've ever said.
Dude,
you want to hear another funny quote?
Their titles in their videos and their even in the thumbnails that you have to make a graphic for, they're still spelling shit wrong, and yet they're on social media. This is a problem in the world, that everybody has a voice. And you can shit on me and say that I don't deserve to have a voice, but my fucking titles aren't spelled incorrectly.
So peep this quote real quick. Again, so robotic. On his childhood inspirations. The inspiration that Jordan gave me as a kid in Akron, Ohio, by the way, in case you forgot, he actually referenced that again, that don't have much inspiration in your hometown. You look at somebody in sports, somebody in music, somebody on the TV screen. So like Will Smith from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Michael Jordan playing for the Bulls, Jay-Z, Biggie, and Tupac. That was my inspirations. All right, so first of all, that phrase, that was my inspirations, drives me nuts. Okay. Second of all, who says Will Smith from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Unless they're reciting something. You just say Will Smith naturally, right? Nobody says Will Smith from, like, you know that he was in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? You mentioned Akron, Ohio. Again, we get it, right? At some point, how do you not realize you guys are just being beaten down with information until you submit? And then you mentioned, Jay-Z, Biggie, Tupac. All right, cool. Let me name all the hip hop artists I can think of that people can recognize, so I can maintain some sense of street cred or whatever. So it's just it's whack. I'm actually more interested in kind of like the human side of it, like his character flaws, in addition to his basketball flaws. But it's so easy to call out. I get frustrated when people don't see it.
I know fanboys name their channels after LeBron. I've got, but I do have to shout out somebody who did the opposite. Locked Up by JJ Barrera is LeBron's 6 finals losses has been the greatest era ever. Yeah, exactly.
It's sad.
Zay, I know you're probably chomping at the bit to take some calls.
Oh yeah. Let me copy this link so I can throw this in my chat.
You think if those Ohio Penn State guys call in, it's going to be like that robotic voice? You know, like that speech and text kind of thing?
Can you send me the actual link in the email?
Yeah, I also threw it up. But what's his name? We're certainly going to prioritize.
Or can you put it in the private chat so I can?
Oh yeah. Good idea. Yeah. Here we go.
So I can just copy it from my computer.
Yeah, I highly expect like King's Speech to call in. I would have expected and appreciate it so we could get some further common sense on here.
Yeah.
Shoot to Jay. I'm gonna have to give priority.
He's been chomping at the bit, so
he's been super chatting and chomping at the bit.
Let him in.
I'm gonna have to go make myself another Bloody Mary. Let you guys take these guys on. Although that's not a fucking boy.
Bloody Mary, Jesus Christ!
What? Yeah, man. I'm out of beer. Terrence. Well, we've got someone named Terrence. Zay, welcome him with the standard question.
What up?
Oh, Terrence, my dog. What's going on?
See, I'm still at work.
Hey,
you know, I stay at work, man. What up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Hey, fellas.
Good.
Like I said, I forget to tell y'all every time I love the channel. Like I say, look, without y'all, I probably don't get through my Sundays. So y'all need to keep this Sunday going because I'll be having 190 packages to deliver every Sunday, and I need y'all to be on here to get me through half of the day.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. And yeah, what I want to talk about, because I just came in here. I don't even know what y'all talking about today, really. But I wanted to get in here the other day and talk about the Cavaliers team that they were talking about. Talking about the Cavs he had to wheel that team past, everybody. But I could have sworn that they gave LeBron James, they tried to give him a new team every year. I remember what he had: Carlos Boozer, Antoine Jameson, all type of people they had on that team. Like every year they gave him different people. You said who? Yeah. And Boobie Gibson was scoring 45. He was dropping 45 out there. So I don't know what people be talking about when they be saying stuff like that. So it's just all these LeBron James things. Go ahead.
LeBron in one instance would say, look how anybody that watches basketball will look at that team like, how in the hell did he do that? But then a few moments later, he talks about his job is to protect the players.
Yeah.
How are you
protecting the players, but you're throwing so many people under the bus?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like they say, Kyrie Irving. A lot of people always try to tell me Kyrie Irving wasn't nothing. I'm like, are y'all serious? Kyrie wasn't nothing. He ain't did nothing without LeBron. LeBron ain't did nothing without him, except for a bubble ring, and that was what all these players and then that Heat team. Who they have? Did they have Shane Battier on that Heat team?
Yeah, they did. 2012 when they won it.
Yeah, he was their defensive stopper.
He shot 50 something.
So what you had?
He was their big defensive stopper.
Yeah. So you had what? Shane Battier, Mike Miller, Ray Allen. Was Ray Allen on that one or was he on the other one?
2013.
Okay, but still, that's still all these different players. He had
Mike
Rashard
Miller,
Lewis at one point.
Birdman. Yeah, James Jones, Birdman. He had all those guys. Yep. All them shooters. Rashard Lewis.
Can I ask you a question? Isn't it you could say that Kyrie Irving arguably probably has maybe the best handle of all time, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Potentially?
Yeah.
As a driver of the basket and a dribbler? Okay. So when you take Kyrie Irving, D Wade, Anthony Davis, Luka, that's just off the top of my head. These 4 generational players that you could say are the best at something. And you take Jordan, and because people bring up Pippen, all right, cool. And then they bring up the Wizards years, which is just the lowest hanging fruit you could ever argue. how do you not say, like, all right, how is this dude the GOAT when he's played with, off the top of my head, 4 one-of-one generational talents, and he has 3.3 rings to show for it? You know what I mean? So, that should be the easiest argument, like, ever.
It should.
I don't think Pippen did. Wait, go ahead. Did Pippen ever average over 20 points?
Did Pippen what?
Guys, I'm gonna move on.
That's a great question.
Because let me get some.
That's a good question, though.
No, it is, but we've got Uncommon, so let me play this.
Yeah. All right. Can I shout out Al Sabag real quick? He's a big supporter on my channel. Thank you, Al Sabag, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. That's nice, man. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll make sure to circle back to those. Uncommon special guest, welcome to the show.
Hey, Uncommon.
What's going on, people?
Uncommon, what's up, man?
What's going on? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Okay.
What up, Uncommon? What up? What up?
What's good?
How's everybody doing?
Good, man.
Good.
Not too bad, sir. Not too bad.
Fanboys, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
It's about to be a fanboy off in here.
It's gonna be a fanboy Sunday. What's up, Uncommon? What's on your mind?
LeBron James fanboys, because I see you guys are in here. I got a question for you guys, and that is, why is everything about your king exaggerated in his career? It's like everything he does is the best of everything, and when he gets beat, it's because he's had the worst circumstances of everything. Like when he wins in 2016, that is the best championship that has ever happened because of the 3-1 comeback. Then he wins in 2020, and that is the best championship because it was the hardest circumstances of any championship ever. Why is everything associated with LeBron James either the very best or the very worst circumstances in the history of sports? That's a question for you LeBron James fanboys. That should seem suspicious to you guys.
22 years of not being able to.
I can answer that right now, actually. It's because he strives for greatness. Why are you guys confused? He strives for greatness. What's the problem here?
On the flip side, Michael Jordan was clearly the luckiest person ever because he had all the right players and the right coaches.
Yeah.
It's because Jordan is not a kid from Akron. That's why. That's why he's not the GOAT.
Well, we'll see what we'll see what the AI bots come up with to respond to you.
Oh, hey, real quick, because I do want to respond. There's a gentleman that Tyson, I think it was, somebody that regularly interacts with us. They asked why focus on like the character kind of component of this whole thing. The reason why I focus on that is because we are inundated with so much information outside of basketball about why LeBron's great. So what's wrong with the 180 of that?
Hey, Tyson,
so I'll argue calling it. Well, no, I have a good I feel like I have a good kind of back and forth. It's always respectful. I just want to respond. That's why we do it, because we're consistently told outside of basketball reasons why he's great. So okay, well, all right, let me look at the other side of maybe why I feel that he's not. So I just wanted to respond to that. My bad, Uncommon. Go ahead.
Well, I'd like to say something about that. Tyson, go look at the other fanboy comments. They're talking about LeBron's
I think it was Tyson.
Pretending like they know about LeBron James's character or anything good that he's done. So don't get mad at us when we counter the narrative about his character, when in the very chat on this show that you're talking about, that fanboys are typing bullshit about character. The guy goes on talk shows to shit on other people and make excuses for his failures. It's the most embarrassing version of a man that could exist, and you idolize him. Uncommon, are you still here? Because I want to give you your bit, unless you want to bow out.
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Well, you just want to hang on the panel while we take these callers?
Yeah, I can hang on for a minute.
All right. Let me shout out to Story Games. Why do people overlook Bosh and Kevin Love as if they weren't good? It's always about what Wade and Irving did. I mean, apply that to just about every teammate LeBron's ever had and has diminished their careers. I mean, honestly, 22 years of doing this to people. We're watching it happen to Luka right now.
Yeah.
We're watching it happen to Luka, who was ranked number 2, except by Kenny Smith's standards. LeBron was number 2.
You know what's wild is that the thing with Luka, we're seeing happen faster than ever. Like usually it takes a season or two for the other guy to get the blame. Luka, well, okay, maybe half a season. Luka got blame after like game 2 or 3. And they didn't even try to hide it. They flat out said, well, he's not in game shape or he's still working his way into the offense. When a week ago they said Luka's dropped 30 pounds, which again, there's no proof of. You can't even keep up with. It's like a storm, right? Like you can't even keep up with everything that's being thrown around you if you're paying attention to it. Luka's already, like you guys said, he's already getting thrown under the bus in record fashion.
Let me shout out to Be Wonderful for saying, great to see you on here finally, Uncommon. Now that the Avengers are complete, God bless you guys.
Thanks, my man. That's nice.
Bookmark.
Appreciate
Bookmark
that.
simply says respect. Let me see if there are any others. Import's been dropping a bunch. LeBron's last minute versus the Bulls. GOAT claps. You know, and it was more than just the turnover. LeBron was responsible for almost all of the collapse of that.
And then have a half court shot in your face.
Let me I see
Giddy forgetting.
LeBron gave up 12 points in that last minute.
Damn, was it 12? Oh shit.
He gave up the 3 to Herter, the 3 to Patrick Williams, the 3 to Kobe White, and the game winner.
Oh damn.
By the way, go to Uncommon, go to Steam Engine, go to Zay, go to Self Research. Self Research drops so much facts on you that you know your brain will start to melt by how terrible LeBron James is. And Zay just had a great one following the Chicago Bulls game that I don't think he got as many views as he usually do, which is weird because I thought it was excellent. And obviously Uncommon Sense, who's responsible for my wonderful theme song. And we have a lot of people waiting to get in here, and Uncommon's going to stick with us as we take callers. King Speech Row is here, and then I'm going to take Aaron G because Aaron G has camera on. King Speech, welcome.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
King Speech.
Hey, what's up, man?
What up?
Salute. Uncommon, and I'm a fan of all of you guys. You know, the Avengers do need to get together and stop all that nonsense. There's so many things that happened over this week that I think one thing that I wanted to get out is if you go back to the Pat McAfee interview, if you want to play a drinking game, right, and take a shot every time he lies, I dare you to make it through that interview. Oh. Because the man just lied all day. I mean, the biggest one is MJ don't call me because I'm still playing. You know, I'm glad that everybody caught that one. Because everybody could see that him and Kobe were the closest when Kobe was still playing. You know what I mean? So, but he lied all through that interview. He threw everybody under the bus. I mean, you know, the first 15 minutes, he was actually a decent human being. And then once they got to the Stephen A stuff, that's when the BS started coming out. And you just saw that whole thing was all about him. You know, so that's pretty much.
Thank you, King Speech. The standards are so low. You would think that one interview in your career in which people were like, damn, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? All he did was like complain, make excuses, and crap on other people. But that's like almost every interview LeBron James does.
Yep.
I mean, he does it over and over and over again.
It's all about him. It's all about him.
Yeah, the Giannis thing is about him too, because Giannis plays in his era. He's got to be a superstar. He'd crush the 70s. Yeah, in a roundabout way, everything is always about LeBron. You're right.
And let me welcome, thank you, King Speech. Let me welcome Aaron G.
Aaron G, what's the word, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up, man? I'm here to get on.
Hey, what up, Aaron?
Boys.
Fanboy.
Hey, I second what King Speech said, man. I guarantee you, if you guys do a live to just break down that video, make sure you get a bottle of your favorite liquor and have your shot glass there. And every time he say a lie, you just got to stop, take a shot, break down what he said, and then go on to the next subject. I guarantee you guys will be drunk by the end of the damn interview.
Oh,
good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an alcoholic, and I would be drunk fucking drunk.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm a lightweight. I'm a lightweight. It's gonna take me 2 to 3 minutes. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, make sure you ain't got nothing planned for the rest of the day then if you're a lightweight, because you ain't gonna be able to function. But where did in the interview, man, I could bring up so much stuff, but there was 2 things that really I almost threw the remote at the TV when he said it. When he said he don't know where they get this, he spent $1 million on his body. And I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, I didn't even know he said that.
Yeah. He was like, I don't know where they. I
did not even know he said that. Wow.
Right. And if you notice when he was talking, he was hiding his eyes under that bib because he know he was lying the whole time, basically. Mm-hmm. But I was like, wait a minute now. I thought, sure. I said, hold on, I got to go do some research. And do you guys know where that came from?
Brian Windhorst?
No, his boy, Maverick Carter.
I was going to say Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
Maverick Carter was the one who did an interview, and he was the one who said that. And that's why on ESPN and on FS1, that's why they always said that. Like, hey, look, this guy spends $1 million on his body, da-da-da-da-da. So for him to go on Pat McAfee and say he don't know where that came from, I'm like, yo, this dude is just straight up lying. Straight up lying. And I think, and here's the reason why I think he has to like diffuse that. Because didn't Maverick Carter get caught up in a situation maybe about 2 years ago?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Didn't his wife's trainer get caught up in that same situation around the same time?
So did Randy Mims.
Yeah.
So did Randy Mims, I believe.
Yep. So I think that was an effort to kind of like, hey, I got to separate myself from that because of who it came from. Mm-hmm. Right. So because nobody in the mainstream media is gonna talk about that. Nobody's gonna talk about that. And then the thing he said about Brian Windhorst, I went and started looking some stuff up. Do y'all remember hearing the story about when LeBron didn't get selected to the all-state team his freshman year in high school? And how
I don't remember that at all. Yeah.
Brian Windhorst was the one that like gave him a pep talk, like, hey, they just don't, it's one of those things where they just don't believe in giving freshmen that nod. Like, you're just going to have to, base it. And Brian Windhorst was like, it's kind of wrong, but you're just going to have to wait your time to. And the very next, his sophomore year, that's when he made it. And I'm like, yo, for him to get on there and do that to Windhorst interviewed Rich Paul. That's where they got the $1 billion worth of game book from. Windhorst wrote that book based off of all the interviews he did with LeBron, Rich Paul, I think Maverick Carter. And I'm sitting here like, damn, bro, like he really just threw Brian Windhorst under the bus. But I guess, do y'all know why? Brian Windhorst kind of called out LeBron about that whole face of the league thing. And I think that's why the dude is soft, man. I mean, you give him a little critique and you're not being hard on him, but it's like, yo, come on, LeBron. And it's like, after that, he don't want nothing to do with you.
Anything other than full blaze.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to.
I heard there was I heard there was something in additional to that. When Brian Windhorst said that LeBron went to Nike because of Jordan, LeBron, of course, had an issue with that as well. And that aided in the whole him calling him weird. So it was the all-time thing, and then him going to Nike because of Jordan, which is wild because I remember when they were asking about LeBron used to being the face of the league and Anthony Edwards not wanting to be the face of the league. LeBron said he never wanted it. But last I checked, he got chosen one fairly early in his career, like maybe like the first year. So how do you sit there and say, oh, I didn't want to be the face of the league and then tattoo chosen one on your back? Again, it's very low-hanging fruit to call stuff out like this.
Guys, I'm going to try and power through some calls. Let me give a shout out to Matt Intuit Sports. When do we create a documentary highlighting LeBron's manufactured career? The last flop. Seriously, guys. Well, I've started one, and then I've started a second one. Listen, you could have a Last Dance, a 10-part series about the lies told in LeBron James's career. I mean, it's an overwhelming project. We have to do a fundraiser to do it properly. Let me get to some people that have been waiting patiently. I see you guys, and we will get to you. Right hand Cam, we will get to you, and McZuggins, and we got Nick Tri-State. Nick Tri-State, welcome to the show.
Gentlemen, happy Sunday. How y'all doing? I know y'all speed. I know y'all speed rounding right now, trying to get as many guests in as possible. But I got one quick Jordan stat for all the LeBron fans. Ariana, don't go far. All right. LeBron has played 7 more seasons than Michael Jordan. I want the LeBron fans to unplug their ears right now and really hear this. LeBron James has played 7 more seasons than Michael Jordan. All right, Daddy, hold on. He is still chasing Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan has a Hall of Fame resume. If you literally take out the 7 years, you have 2 more championships, 2 more finals MVPs, a regular season MVP, 10 scoring titles, 3 times leading the league in steals, and a defensive player of the year in 7 less seasons.
Wow.
I don't understand how these LeBron fans really try to sit here with a straight face and say LeBron's the GOAT when he's still chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan with 7 more seasons.
In 2 of those seasons, he was ineligible for scoring titles, all NBAs, and defense, all that stuff.
Ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous.
86 and 95, he was ineligible.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Zay, you're a convert. Explain how the mind works.
Oh, the mind of a fanboy is a diabolical mind. You know what I mean? When I was a fanboy, if you said something about LeBron James, I was ready to put you in a headlock. You know, if I was a fanboy, probably still to this day, I would have been making these LeBron songs.
Oh no! Don't put yourself like that. Don't put yourself like that.
I don't even like joking about that.
Oh no!
I don't even like thinking about that.
I'm welcoming right hand Cam to the stage. Are you ready to be here?
What's up, fellas? How y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
You're a little muffled.
Hey, Zay, man, why you lying like that, bro? You know dang well you gonna be making LeBron songs later. Stop lying like that.
No, man.
But no, you know dang well you gonna make them little love songs later. Quit playing. But no,
I don't know if he's trying to be funny or.
No, yeah, he's trying to be funny. No, he's trying to be funny. No, he's good. What happened?
I don't. Oops. Sorry. No, you're here. You're here.
Yeah, I'm being funny. Zay know me. But now, on the real though, how can you act like But my question is this: how you don't like the B word, but you acting out here like one? Make that make sense.
And how does he get to decide for the world what words aren't allowed and which ones aren't? And just like he uses the fatherhood excuse, he put that at the same level as using the B word. Hey, here's my reason for acting the way that I act.
Mm-hmm. Do you mind repeating that? I missed the second half of that.
You say he's basically saying call people out for calling him a B when he always acts like a B.
Yeah,
or how are you going to sit there and say free Big Meech, but then talk about you don't want black on black violence or you don't like the B word? Again, never mind.
Uncommon, I'm going to call on you.
vintage.
I feel like you're probably a polite person who sits and waits on being called on. You got anything to chime in?
On LeBron James being a B?
Sure. Anything.
Well, I believe that LeBron James fanboys, he is indeed a B, and he is the father of all you guys. So you know,
the father of bitches.
Fanboys.
The father of bitches.
FOB.
I mean, he has that kind of behavior, and actually, you know, it's like going back to what Steam Engine was talking about. You know, why we talk about the character so much. We talk about the character so much because the character dictates the respect. It's like, this is why we don't respect his accolades and his stats. It's because of his character, and that dictates how he got these things. If you go throughout his career and look at how this guy moves, like he doesn't have any integrity. So, you know, it all ties in together. So when you guys want to bring up, you know, his 40,000 points, and then we ask you specific things about his career that is obvious proof that the guy is taking shortcuts his whole career, it's like that. It all ties in together. So you guys can't have it both ways, especially bringing up the fact that he's a good father and good person. And, you know, you don't know the guy in person. Everything that he has done in his career would prove otherwise. You know, even how he left Cleveland the first time. It's like, it was kind of a backstabbing move. So, you know, it all ties together, fanboys, if you're paying attention, which we know you're not, but it all ties together.
and Uncommon, speaking of the character thing, I don't know if you remember this, but a long time ago, there was a video of 2 Chainz and LeBron and a bunch of his group, and they were trying to figure out album details. And, you know, LeBron's sitting there rambling about, you know, releasing an album with so many songs and then releasing a different album the next week with so many songs, basically describing a deluxe, right? And they had the nerve to sit there and talk about like he was inventing some brand new technology. They were like, they underlined the word deluxe. They like, oh, that's a great idea, blah, blah, blah. He's surrounded by yes men. He's been surrounded by yes men his entire life. I'd be curious to see if there's been anybody to stand up to him in a way like a Mario Chalmers or somebody like that, that's actually yielded some kind of positive result. I'll bet you anything, it's never happened in his life. I don't think he's ever been told no to anything, ever. Like, you can sit there and talk to 2 Chainz, who's a platinum selling artist, describing a deluxe album, and you have a room full of people saying, oh, I never heard of that before. That's a great idea, blah, blah, blah. It's nuts. It's insane.
Yeah, I fully agree. I don't believe there's ever been anybody in his life to actually challenge him and without suffering some kind of repercussions. Anybody that challenges the guy, he seems to go out of his way to try to get him out the way, which is why I think we're seeing this whole beef between him and Stephen A, is because LeBron James feels like he's losing it. It's towards the end of his career. This year, he's seeing more criticism than he's probably seen, and he's falling apart. So now he's trying to, you know, basically destroy Stephen A. Smith because Stephen A. Smith is, you know, said some unfavorable things about him, even though Stephen A. Smith glazes him just as much as everybody else in mainstream media.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, he doesn't want to be number 2.
When you say challenges him, we've reached the point to where anything other than complete praise is considered a challenge. It's pretty sad.
Mm-hmm. That's just pure narcissism. It's what it is.
Yep, and he's
has he been challenged?
I don't think so.
Has he been challenged in the last decade?
When you have to consider Stephen A. Smith his biggest challenger, and like Stephen A. Smith starts every fucking soliloquy with, "Oh, LeBron's greatness and he's unquestionable.
He's a great dad.
Unquestionable that." Like, my God.
So whoever brought up Rick Bucher earlier was dead on. Rick Bucher is the only ESPN analyst who's openly against LeBron. Everybody else will act like they're against LeBron, but they open it with praise, like Stephen A. To your point, AOH, and then they'll say something, but then there will be a backdoor compliment to make sure that their jobs are safe. Off the air. Kendrick Perkins, who just got a contract extension, who if he tried to clap would miss his hands completely. He has been off and on LeBron these last 2 seasons, but you're seeing him be more pro LeBron because whoever was saying about his career coming to the end, that like everybody's trying to stay on the ship or get off the ship before it sinks. It's like this whole societal thing. It's crazy.
On Friday, Zay and I talked about how we might have acted in an insecure manner when we were younger because our insecurity caused us to maybe like want to like shit on somebody else to help ourselves. The fact that LeBron, we grew up, we got better about that. The fact that LeBron is getting worse at age 40 is just astonishing. It's LeBron James, so it's not astonishing, but my God, man. I mean, as Uncommon said, he sounds more insecure than ever near the end of his career when you should be feeling like you don't need to say anything anymore.
You know what? I actually I got a theory about that. LeBron James fanboys, if you're tuning in, listen up to this. I really believe LeBron James has never been in a fist fight his whole life.
Oh, I believe that.
And the reason I say that is because if you've never actually been in a physical altercation, to me, that's something that teaches you how to fight back. And LeBron James doesn't have any fight in him. Like LeBron James behaves like a person who has been protected and coddled his whole life. Like, and this is why the whole 2011 happened. This is why Jason Terry was smacking your king in the face the way he did. Because if he had some fight in him, like just that alone would not have allowed that to occur. But LeBron James has never, I don't believe LeBron James has ever been in a situation where he really had to put up or shut up, where he had to fight, and his well-being depended on his ability to do that.
Thank you.
I don't think so either. I think LeBron is a special type of B because what type of man, like, can you imagine somebody talking to Jordan mama, talking to Kobe mama? Like, that is the ultimate form of disrespect for somebody to make an advance towards your mother. That's a different level of disrespect. That showed me right there that LeBron was a beta male. That's just the facts.
I know I sound dumb when I say things like this, but I've said it in the past. It's like, me talking about fighting a pro athlete is dumb, but if you're going to make me choose somebody, it's LeBron James for exactly what Uncommon said. I don't think this guy has fight in him.
No.
He certainly has never been in one before. I have.
LeBron the type to call the police, man. He like, man, I got to call the police.
Did I read this super chat yet? I think I forgot to read from Verbal Kent. Funny how the statisticians want to count playoff points to celebrate LeBron's 50K career points, but conveniently exclude the playoffs for his double-digit scoring streak. We talked about that about 3 Sundays ago. But yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, you got a whole video on it. You got a whole breakdown on that. So definitely go check that out when you get the chance.
Thank you. Just a Messenger says AOH for
is there any footage of LeBron fighting in high school? My bad, AOH. Go ahead. I was asking if he had got any kind of physical altercations since high school. Has that ever been seen?
No.
How about during or before? His tough childhood.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Right. Oh, that's right. Inner city. That's inner city, right? So it's a miracle he's alive.
I'm not from the inner city, and I fucking fought plenty of fights. So if LeBron managed to avoid them in the inner city, that's actually pretty interesting. Justin Messenger says, AOH for a laugh, can you play the Tatum Braun clip? Which one?
I think you're talking about the flop.
Oh, I tell you what I do want to do is after hearing announcers or the ref describe Jalen's flop that he got called out for, I got to put that audio to
You talking
all
about-
of LeBron's flops. Because they called it
You talking about
dramatic.
that Triple J flop?
Dramatic and theatrical last night against the Grizzlies.
Okay, yeah, it was despicable to watch, but it was no different than watching LeBron fling himself into a fan's beer against the Nuggets.
I'm sorry, I mean Jaren Jackson, don't I?
Yeah, they had him in foul
Yeah, you meant
trouble
Triple J.
early last night. He was in foul trouble by the second quarter, man.
I'm gonna Top Dog and McZuggins have been waiting patiently, as have other people. Let me
Yeah.
Top Dog, you're on.
What is up, everyone?
How you doing?
Good afternoon.
I'm doing good, and I'm ready to
What up,
cook
what
this
up?
fanboys.
What's going on, man?
What's going on? I've been ready to cook these LeBron fanboys because I'm just tired of all these narratives about this guy. Like, I want to come on here and say, like, at what point in his career has LeBron ever defined like a decade? You know, you see, like in the '90s, you know, Jordan defined the '90s. In the 2000s, it was Kobe and Duncan. In the 2010s, some people will say that, oh, but he had the Heat. He won, you know, 3 championships. But even then, I always felt like Curry defined the 2010s more than LeBron. I always felt like Curry was the better player. Like when you think, like when you think of it, like when you think of it, Curry is way closer to Jordan than LeBron. He won with the same team. He made players better than him. You know, KD joined him. He didn't join KD. He got KD to join them because he beat him. LeBron James has never done that. LeBron James loses. He's always lost, and he's always joined other teams. He's like, I don't get like, and you get his fanboy saying, "Oh, LeBron is better than Curry." I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like everything Curry does is much harder than anything LeBron does. Like, how hard is it to dunk and make layups?
9 out of his 21, as he came in third in scoring on the team last night and got the headline for leading the team. I mean, you can't tell me this guy doesn't get glazed. McZuggins, you're on.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, y'all.
What's up, McZuggins?
So I just want to leave this here, something Jim was talking about earlier that caught my attention, intersects with some stuff from the other week. A lot of people were saying stuff about playoff performance, that the load management is fine because he saves it for the playoffs. But what about when it counts and all this stuff? And hearing Jim talking about the free throw percentages, I remembered something I found a couple weeks ago. But I just want to leave this here for everybody to consider, for y'all's consideration. Just to point out, LeBron's free throw percentage, which people argue about, right? Oh, is it good? Is it not good? Right? He flops to try to get it. And then, it's a higher percentage thing. So it's smart to do and all that kind of stuff. When it's actually clutch, I just looked at playoffs, just in the playoffs, when it actually matters, when it's clutch time, when it's 5 points or less, 5 minutes left to go, he's the only one. I looked at like 6 different players. He's the only one whose percentage drops 10, 15, sometimes 20%, going all the way back to 2011. So it's not old or aging or any of that stuff. It always drops. Meanwhile, just since y'all talking about Curry and all this stuff, Curry actually goes up. He's over 90% in the same periods. Kobe's consistently mid-80s. KD is in the mid to high 80s. MJ stayed in the mid-80s except for a couple seasons. At the beginning, he dropped only 6 points to the high 70s when the Pistons were beating the hell out of him. And it still only went down by 6%. So I just want to leave that there, that his performance actually gets worse on the easiest thing to do, that he supposedly strategizes for, that he saves all his energy for. It actually gets worse. So just going to leave that there for y'all to consider. Anyway, thanks for having me. See y'all.
Good job.
Appreciate you.
Hey, can we get my dog Bucks in here? He joined in the
Where's Bucks at? How come Derek Bucks?
Yeah, Derek Bucks. Yeah.
Yeah, let me I'm not gonna say his name, fanboy. I'm just going to call you fuck for brains. But the reason Curry, the reason Curry won with the same team and not LeBron is because the Warriors built a perfect team around Curry. LeBron never had a perfect team built around him. Like, what fucking planet are you on? Curry existed with a couple of draftees who became good around him. LeBron's entire career has been a never-ending effort to bring in all-stars, top-level mercenaries, and LeBron saying, nope, not good enough to carry me. Year after year after year. I mean, it's been a never-ending science experiment to see how many other players are good enough to get past the deficiencies of LeBron James. His entire career, no one even comes close to the number of transactions made by franchises with LeBron James trying to help him. Like, what fucking planet are you on? All right, Derek.
Oh, snap. What's up with y'all?
What's going on, bro?
What's up, man?
Hey,
what up? What up?
Go for it.
Oh, he cut him out. Oh shit.
Hey, somebody said in the chat, LeBron is a walking only fan. If you could put that, I think that's fantastic. Reality matters. LeBron is a walking only fan. That is great. That's fantastic.
Uncommon.
He said Bron not paying rent. Hey, Bron is definitely paying rent, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Uncommon. Shed some knowledge on us. I know you're thinking something.
I had a thought, but I just lost it.
Were you playing the LeBron drinking game?
I mean, it's never ending. But yeah, you LeBron James fanboys, you guys are really special. I'm actually starting to lose hope. You know, I would actually like to think that all of you guys are so young that you just can't know any better. But yeah, I mean that last statement about LeBron James not having teams built around him, like that is the kind of statement that, you know, I really feel like in person you should be slapped for. And I'm being serious. I'm being serious. I'm not, because at this point, what does it take for a guy who not only has had constant pieces moved around him, but he has also got to choose those pieces. Now, but what it comes down to is what I always say is LeBron James never understood the value of building. He never understood the value of staying with the same pieces. And well, but again, that would require him holding himself accountable so that he could hold other people accountable. But you know, again, what else is new?
It's amazing. It's sad. It's unfortunate. I Zay, I don't even think you fall into this category. I know you're a convert. I'm trying to understand why it's so important to support something you don't even understand, because these guys obviously don't even watch the game.
Yeah. Like I said, it's like these guys get the Men in Black flash. As soon as you tell them some real information, some accurate information that should change their perspective on who the GOAT is based off the information that we're telling them, they just pretend like they don't hear it.
Pinball addict, I don't believe you. We really have someone watching old enough to have watched Wilt play.
Wow.
Well, where's what's his face? Where's the dude that's always with Dart? He'd be helpful here. What the hell's his name?
He said he watched Wilt play. How old is you? God damn it!
I'm asking Pinball. Are you for real? So Derek's back. We'll try and let Derek on again.
Hey, yo. Yeah, man, these fanboys out of control.
The fanboys have lost it, man. Yeah, you see, he got the Kobe. Kobe is Kobe your GOAT? Is that safe to say?
Yeah. You know, I respect Jordan. You know, I know I say Michael Jordan and Kobe, but you know, I watched Kobe. I got to see Kobe. We got to watch Kobe. You know what I mean? And it's just a big difference than this man LeBron. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, this is my homie. This is my homie in real life. Like we talk every day. Tell these people how much of a fanboy I was.
Yeah, you was deep in the trenches.
Weird.
Hey, 93 Zay was deep.
People that watched Kobe. People that watch Kobe actually play were there to see him have maybe like the greatest rebrand in the history of sports.
Yeah.
He was hated, just hate like that. That 2-3-peat Lakers team, that 3-peat Lakers team was hated. And when it was all said and done, most people just remember Mamba mentality. But Kobe was so disliked. I mean, especially with the Denver thing and the whole rape case and all that. So it shows a lot about his character. However you feel about Kobe Bryant, that he was able. I mean, basically, he raped somebody, for lack of a better word, and was still able to turn it around in his favor. That goes a long way. I'm not excusing his behavior, of course. Rape's bad, but that goes really far. LeBron ain't surviving a scandal like that. That's why he has a team of people that keeps him out of the news. All consistent. That's why every time. Well, he's never in the news. Right. He's never in the news. No, none of it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that rape is something, you know what I mean, nothing like that, but it's a lot of discrepancies in that case.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, LeBron has played the media game better than anybody. He's played the media game to a level where we've never seen before. And it's all starting to crumble down. By the end, I guarantee by the time LeBron retires, no more than 3 years after retirement, everything's gonna come out about him using pads. Everything. All the lies will come to the light. Everything that's done in the dark will always come to the light, fanboys.
It's going to be interesting to see the battle between LeBron James produced documentaries glorifying him and people actually exposing him. It's going to be like
yeah, and then the Lakers are talking about
and also
your delay is terrible.
Go ahead, my bad, my fault.
You can't be a comedian if your timing is this bad.
That's a good joke. That's funny. No, real quick, because I want to respond to something. Because somebody said in the chat, so rape defines Kobe's character. That's exactly what I'm talking about, that bullshit straw man argument. Nobody's saying that. Listen to what we're saying. Nobody said rape is defining Kobe's character. What I said is how he maneuvered through that entire process is what defined his character and built it. LeBron fans have this thing, the straw man argument, where you present you present information, and then the LeBron side of it generalizes it, turns it around to make it seem like what you're saying is incorrect. It's infuriating. My bad. Hopefully you guys saw this and my delay is not that bad.
Jim, you've been quiet. You got anything that's on your mind? Or are you just enjoying?
No, sorry, I was having a battery issue, but sorry. Yeah, with the whole Kobe thing. Yeah, I mean the rape. It depends on what side of the table you're on about Kobe. The rape thing. If you run with it, but if you like Kobe, you're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. So whatever on that one. I mean, I like to keep it about what happened on the court anyway. But I just think it's kind of an argument of what side of the table you are. Like Scap Attack, I guarantee that he probably doesn't even bring it up. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's anything that you should hold against. It should all be about what's on the court. I never looked at Kobe as a 1B to Michael Jordan. I think there's a couple players between the two of them, but I get it. Kobe was great. But the thing about Kobe is the reason why the media hates him so much. My theory is because if LeBron is not better than Kobe, then he has no shot at MJ. So that's why they always pick on Kobe, guaranteed.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I don't think Kobe R-worded that woman anyway, because there's no short list of women waiting outside locker rooms, waiting outside the stadium to gargle the balls of these NBA players.
Well, that was a woman. That was my biggest criticism of Kobe.
Yeah, and there's no rape accuser that's gonna joke with their friends talking about how much money they're gonna get from the case. You know what I mean?
Same thing happened to Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? The same exact thing happened to him.
Yep. And
I rooted against Kobe. I don't know if he was innocent or not, but I saw the woman that accused him. I was like, come on, Kobe, if you're gonna be an adulterer, let's raise the bar.
I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it.
Societally, I was very disturbed that his jersey sales went up. because if you get accused of rape, I don't think that's a reason for sales to go up, but it does tell you that his fans loved him and supported him.
Yeah.
Most definitely, man. Kobe, there's no type of player like Kobe left. There's nobody with that mentality of Kobe left. Like my dog Bucks, he loved Anthony Edwards, but Anthony Edwards is not cut from the same.
Yeah, he's not. I'm
No.
starting to lose faith in Anthony Edwards.
And you should.
No.
I'm starting to lose faith in Anthony Edwards, man. I don't know. His mentality is off.
Yep.
He's in Minnesota. Minnesota is a place
McGrady, who I see him as. Tracy McGrady is who I'd not Kobe.
Uncommon, where do you stand with Kobe?
In the whole case, I tend to believe that, you know, if he wasn't, you know,
no, not the rape.
I don't hold it. Oh, okay.
Just like, where do you hold him? How much do you revere him?
Yeah. Oh, of course. You know, I honestly revere anybody who that you could have in your top 10. I believe all those guys earned it. You know, Kobe, as far as mentality, obviously he's the close thing to Michael Jordan. And honestly, with the exception of having Michael Jordan as the GOAT, for me, 2 through 5, I can find reasons to move them all around. You know, sometimes I feel like Kobe is number 2. Sometimes I could have him at 3 or 4. But you know, I think the biggest thing for me is that LeBron James doesn't deserve to be in the conversation with any of those guys who played the game with integrity. And that includes Kobe. Like, if you're just talking about adversity, you know, I think the thing that Kobe proved is that, you know, the reason why he was able to rebrand himself is because of what he did on the court. It's because people saw what he did on the court, and you cannot deny the effort and the work and dedication that Kobe Bryant was putting forth on the basketball court. Now, LeBron James, on the other hand, I would argue that the reason he had that turnover against the Bulls is because Stephen A was in his head.
What about his other turnovers?
I mean, LeBron can't handle the most minuscule of situations. You know, if anybody says anything bad, it's in his head, and he can't overcome it on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's true. Just a messenger said, this is the only guy remembering the rule of the day.
Damn, I forgot all about that.
To be honest with you, shout out to Uncommon for great Braun nicknames: the Deer, CFL, the Duck, 4 and 6 Kingdom, and he's brought the Duck nickname to a new level because of the ducking. I don't think that's the reason you gave him that nickname, Uncommon, but
no,
he is
the Duck. The Duck, that is the reason I gave.
Oh, that is the reason?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he keeps ducking everybody. He doesn't want competition, man. He's ducked Giannis for 3 years.
Yeah, this guy has the most magical injuries I've ever seen.
Oh, and one thing we got to talk about. You see Kendrick Perkins get up there and say his sources told him that LeBron James is not fully healthy. He looked fully healthy to me last night, fan boys.
Jesus.
I believe
Kendrick Perkins' sources is probably his dogs.
We're in a world where Kendrick Perkins gets to talk. I mean, for fuck's sakes.
LeBron James is never fully healthy. In case anybody hadn't noticed, he's never fully healthy, just in case he loses.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what kind of trainers allow you to keep playing on something that's going to keep re-aggravating? You know, it's Tazzy says, can we get a list of things you would say LeBron has done well? Oh, fuck. 2,
that's easy.
Your all-time ranking of LeBron, because it feels like you're the reverse of ESPN sometimes. Well, I strive to be the reverse of ESPN.
Yeah, exactly.
They lie.
That means we're doing our job, I hope.
They gave birth to us. They're like, we were born out of necessity of never-ending lies. So here, you guys take a turn with number 1. I'm going to say LeBron manipulates the media well. There, that's my list.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I got one for you. If you want a list of the things LeBron James does well, just go look at the many compilations that he has. Compilations of flopping, compilations of quitting, compilations of 4-on-5 defense. I mean, it's plenty of stuff out there.
And he's the #1 blamer of all time. So
he's made great super teams. Got to give him credit.
Not good enough ones, apparently.
He's got great turnovers.
He's really good at being passive aggressive.
How do you expect to stay healthy?
He's awesome at that.
How do you expect to go healthy when you go to the LeBron James of doctors? Says Jolly Josh.
Yeah, if you go see a doctor for a surgery and he's going to complete it perfectly 40% of the time, I mean.
Hey, fanboys, what do you think? Let's get a poll. Because LeBron James, after talking about tearing a tendon and going to the LeBron James of doctors, says if he does get surgery, we won't know, which is convenient as fuck when you're lying. But what do you think? Did he get surgery or did he not?
Do NBA players?
No, he didn't get surgery.
The fanboys, what do fanboys
do NBA
think?
players have to give that information out?
Huh?
Do they have to report that to the league if they get surgery? Like if a player gets surgery,
you can't
do they have to report that?
You can't hide
that's my
a pro
point.
athlete getting fucking surgery, dude, even if you want to.
That's my point.
I know. I
Like
know.
when Ben Simmons said he had back surgery.
D Vance says, I have a couple of names. Jerry from Akron, Super Team Builder, Need Help Ass, Ninja LaFlop, LeSweat, LeBalco King, Jaffrey Joffer, Zumunda,
Yep.
LeBum,
Yep.
the Snake. I need comments in a super chat that long so I don't F them up.
Yeah, fanboys.
I would like to know if players legally have to report surgeries. Because I don't know, I never really thought about it, but I am curious because there's been several times where he said I'm getting X, Y, and Z, and there's no proof, there's no verification. So I'd definitely be curious if they legally have to report that, or if it's just personal information. My guess is they would have to report it because it's their job.
How can your job be a professional athlete in which you have to perform for your boss, the franchise, and not report that you're having a surgery?
That's my point. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll never know it. That's bullshit. Like, come on, man.
Should we take some more callers? Is everybody running out of steam?
No, I'm still here, man.
No, there's somebody saying they keep trying to call in. Lakers Nation says, "How do I call in?" And there's somebody else that said that you're not letting them on.
There's a fanboy in there wants to get on too. Young disciple wants in.
Young disciple is too
yeah,
dumb.
that's the one.
He wants in. He said, "Let me on the show. Bring it."
He's a talker. I've got a waiting room full of people, and I'm not giving fanboys priority over these people that have been waiting patiently.
Okay.
So
hey fellas, I'm gonna have to get out of here.
Thanks, Uncommon. Any last words?
Hey, appreciate you, Uncommon.
Yeah.
I got last words. Everybody watching, please continue to support all the content creators who are bringing you the honesty. Like AOH said, these channels were born out of ESPN. These were necessary because, ESPN is not going to give you honesty. ESPN, a lot of those people are bought and paid for, unfortunately, through Unclutched Sports. So, I think it's important that you continue to support everybody here. But anyway, shout out to everybody. Thanks for having me on, and I will see you all next time.
Thank you. Let me play
Uncommon. It's the first time meeting you, man.
Hey, yeah.
Good.
Indeed.
I got some outro music for Uncommon.
Yeah, we're gonna have a fanboy off one of these days, man.
You guys can hear that music, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, I had a AOH real quick. I had a content idea. What if we actually watched like these games, like the recorded games, and had fanboys on in real time to defend a lot of what we're calling out, as it's happening, because a lot of these conversations are via text and via this forum, right? But in a situation where you got just like fellas at a bar or at a party, whatever, watching sports, you know, can you openly defend this in that setting? I don't see how you can.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an idea. I've been archiving all of them, ready to be used at some point.
We should do that, man. We should do that.
McKelvey says, Machiavelli says, just imagine the bad boy Pistons on LaCookie. Yeah. Fucking nightmare. I think we had Eddie TV on already. We had Aaron G on already, right? We did not have Gang Pops on yet. Gang Pops. What's on your mind, Gang Pops?
What's up? How's my sound coming through?
Hey, what up?
How's my sound? Is it good?
Good enough.
I hear you.
All right.
I hear you.
Yeah, guys. So I got a couple of things. There's some cool stats that I, either learned recently or learned over the years that I think are cool, especially when it comes to comparing the competitive nature of players and comparing eras and everything. Let me see. Self-research, you might need to confirm this for me, but I remember reading online when Dennis Rodman got drafted, because I heard someone bring up Rodman a while ago, and he's one of my favorites. When he got drafted, the front office for Detroit decided they were going to send him to the summer league or something like that to work on his offense. So they said for a little while, and he immediately put up like 36 points a game. Like, he was a beast. And I think
No, he was good. He was a good player, even offensively, when he was on, Southeast Oklahoma State. They didn't draft him just for his defense and rebounding. He just became that because he was so good, and they didn't need his offense for those teams. And that's just what he focused on, and that's just what he became. But you're right. He even on Detroit, he wasn't putting up 5 points a game. He was in the 12, 14 range. But there was so many, scores on that team. They rotated 8, 9 players. So that's just kind of what he was born out of, really.
Yeah, it was like he was more focused on winning, obviously.
Right.
And then another thing with my favorite Jordan stat that I've ever heard, I think, was after either 89 or 90. For the rest of his Bulls career, they never lost, I think, 3 games in a row. Like, ever.
Right.
Yeah, I did a video on that one too. I think it was 648 games. They never lost 3 in a row.
Shoot, yeah, dude. And like, you don't see that today. Like, people don't care so much about winning anymore. It's about like, that's part of the And then the issue I had with LeBron is like, I feel like all this focus on the cumulative stats over the years is focused on because he's not a real competitor, because he's not going to, be that guy taking the clutch shot. I want to see if there's a compilation of all the times that there's been like a second left on the clock and he threw the ball to somebody else. I want to know if that's ever
like he did to poor boy Gabe Vincent with 0.8 left.
Yes. There's that. And then another crazy stat about LeBron that I saw, and this was back in like the second stint in Cleveland in like 2017 or so. It came out that he had the most time spent walking on the court out of everyone in the entire league. And I can only imagine that it's gotten much worse since then.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I feel like just things like that kind of highlight the difference in the nature that he has versus the guys who, people look at as these icons and the GOAT and everything like that.
Amen to that. Thank you for coming on. Eddie TV says I skipped him. So Eddie, you're on. What's up?
Yo, what up, fellas?
What's going on, Eddie?
Not much, man. I was chiming in, man. I wanted to piggyback something earlier that before Uncommon got off in 93, Zay said about the whole little back and forth with LeBron about being a punk. LeBron is a punk. You ran from Isaiah Stewart. You got called to be by Dwight Howard. You got called to be by Ime Udoka. You got called to be by Dwight Howard, and you didn't run up on any of them. Then you had to be sedated because Delonte West was knocking down your mama. You didn't do nothing about that. But then you run up on Stephen A for making comments about your son's stats, and then you got everybody, oh, well, I understand why he did it because, he said as a father. Bruh, basically what LeBron did was put Bronny on a stick and waved him over a crock pool and was waiting for somebody to jump on him.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I made a video on this on my channel about, people be like, all right, well, Jordan had Pippen, but let's not talk about all the help that LeBron has had. Hall of Famers, all-star players, top 75 players, all of this stuff. Made a video on that too. And then, isn't it ironic? It's ironic as hell how majority of the sports analysts on ESPN are all his ex-teammates.
Yeah, you're right.
It's ironic. You got Carlos Boozer, Danny Green, Kendrick Perkins, Carlos Boozer. I had to look at the video. Channing Frye,
Channing Frye,
Channing Frye, and it's one more that I forgot. Who?
Richard Jefferson.
Richard Jefferson.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like it's like 6 or 7.
Richard Jefferson, right?
Yep, made a video about that too. But man, I mean, I feel y'all pain, bro. I feel y'all pain. It's getting tacked in y'all comments. Cause
Listen,
man, look, it gets bad, bro. Real bad.
I want to say,
that's such a strong point. Go ahead.
Christ.
Say again.
Hey, one thing LeBron said in the interview with Pat McAfee, he said, as a father, I don't care if Bronny scores. Fanboys, how mad would you be going to your son's game and your son is out there not scoring? He's not doing anything. Wouldn't you be upset?
I just don't understand how. I mean, Shale probably doesn't need us giving him any money, but I would like to seat him next to Stephen A. Smith at a game and see who LeBron steps to, because what Shale said was so much worse. So much worse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically said that LeBron
that'd be fantastic.
Has he ever addressed in any
Nope.
way, in any interview, the steroid allegations? Have you ever heard anything?
Nope.
I haven't either.
Nope.
Never heard.
Nope.
And I've searched for it. Believe me, I've
Nope.
searched for it. Can't find it.
Nope.
So he just won't deny.
Hashtag shave that beard.
Hey, protect your house.
Hashtag steroid boils.
Protect your house.
That's insulting as hell, saying I need to protect these players. Yo, I'm a grown ass man if I'm in this league. I don't need protection. Who the hell you think you are? What are we doing here?
Guys, I'm
also to your point, real quick, the players that are on the air, relatively speaking, like his ex-teammates, you would think these aren't really standout players. Why are they here? Their insight isn't anything special. Why are they here? Oh wait, they're pushing an agenda.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I'm going to take one more caller and then I got to get going.
Okay.
LM for life. You've been waiting for a while. What's up?
It's about time. Shout out to the Justice League. How y'all boys doing?
Good, man. How are you doing?
It's about time. How y'all doing, man?
Long list of people. Come on,
man.
What's up? Is this Robin? Is this sports and fitness?
Now, real quick. First, I want to do a shout out to Giddy, man, for that shot heard from Baghdad, and also that was beautiful. That was beautiful because I'm from Chicago. But also, did y'all know that LeBron broke a record that night too? Do any of y'all know from Justice League know what record he broke? He broke the most missed shot of all time, bro. It was not posted nowhere. 15,000 missed shots. He passed Kobe. Nobody talked about it.
15,000
missed shot. Ain't nobody talked about it, man. Nobody spoke about that record. That's a record.
And it's 2,000 turnovers. Plus.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I was like, man, this is hilarious, man.
How many made shots does he have?
Not enough. But no, man.
I'd love to know that number compared to the 15,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a big stat. Nobody talked about it, man. It was a record. They ain't stopped the game. They ain't give him the game ball. None of that.
No.
I think it's interesting the cognitive dissonance that LeBron fans have, in which they can talk about longevity as an excuse for why he's missed so many shots and had so many turnovers, but don't apply that to getting all those points. It's like, yeah, you play long enough and all the numbers are going to increase over time.
Yep. Longevity stats. That's all it is, man. That boy's trash. And he's and 93 Zay, he's over 40 now, so I call him the 40 plus.
40 plus.
And wait, you probably have to tell people what cognitive dissonance is.
Hey man, thanks for calling.
Hey, I'm subscribed to all y'all channels, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, sir.
And I apologize for Steam Engine talking over you the way he's talked over all of us all day.
No. Nope. Keep moving.
Zay, are you gonna break down this game, or are you gonna let this one go?
I'm gonna probably just do defense. His defense. I ain't gonna do a full highlight because the Grizzlies pissed me off. Ja Morant, I'm gonna cuss him out in the video because he single-handedly to me cost them the game.
Yep.
So, but I do got content dropping today. Cool. That will be out, so you'll get your laugh on. We'll get back to laughing. So
we're looking forward to it. And I say it a lot of times. I know it's redundant, but I still play basketball, and I have eventually exceeded other people at the gym in points scored there while being not even close to one of the better players. So that should put your longevity stats into perspective.
That's all they have. That's the only argument they have is longevity. That's it.
Jim, what's on your mind as we close up here?
All right. Somebody in the chat, I think his name is You Heard Me. He's talking a lot of junk. He's saying, like, basically when LeBron retires, that we got nothing. We're all losers.
Jesus,
well, I'll just say, I don't do anything about LeBron current, whatever he's doing. You guys got all that covered. I go by his career. And I will say this. Another thing that I did recently I find interesting was LeBron James is the only NBA player in history to only win 2 finals games across 4 different finals. I looked up Major League Baseball. There's no one who's ever done that. I even looked up the NHL. There's Gordie Howe back in the 40s and 50s. That's how common that is. Even Jerry West, who lost all those finals, did not get swept twice and gentlemen swept twice. And he only won one. I'm just saying, there you have it. So
amen to that.
Wow.
Yep.
2 games and 4 finals, fanboys.
That's it.
Speem, what's your week look like? Anything in particular you want to put out?
Yeah, I'm hopefully I'm not 45 minutes behind. Yeah, I'm dropping the video today. The Lakers post-game show is disgusting. And I know James Worthy. I don't know the other 2 people, but I'm making a video making fun of them because they're pointless. I kind of wish they'd get fired, and I usually don't wish ill will on people. I really like the idea of us watching the games together, especially as we approach the playoffs. Hopefully the Lakers make it there. I highly doubt they will, but if they make the playoffs, I really like the idea of watching the games with people. So I really want to build on that. Hashtag strive for greatness. Hashtag giddy for giddy. Hashtag steroid boils. And I appreciate everybody here.
All right, man.
All right, Zay, you've got the last word.
Hey, I just want to appreciate y'all tapping in, checking in with us. You know, the Justice League, we're trying to do the Lord's work. We're trying to bring you fanboys home. We're trying to get you to see the light. That's all that we want to do. I know you're tired of watching ESPN, the same bullshit, the same lies that you're going to hear all the time, man. Come listen to something fresh. Come listen to something with a real perspective. That's all I got to say.
Listen and open your eyes.
That's well said. Exactly.
I'd like to say that's all I want, but I want more. I actually want to go political and pass a law that stops fanboys from reproducing.
Remember, ladies, make sure
I'll sign that petition.
Ladies, make sure your baby dad or your husband is not a fanboy. You will have a hard life dealing with these fanboys.
If they have LeBrons in their closet, you leave them. You leave them immediately.
All right, guys, I'm closing.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.